Arklings, welcome to the Splatoon 2 European Championships! Before we get into all the action, I have a very special message for you from one of our squid researchers.
Bonjour! 皆さん、こんにちは。理科研究所の研究員です。スプラトゥーン2ヨーロピアンチャンピオンシップ決勝大会のために、ここパリの会場にお集まりの皆さん、ありがとうございます。そして、ライブ配信をご覧の皆さんもありがとうございます。昨日行われた試合はお楽しみいただけたでしょうか。残念ながら8つのチームが敗退となってしまいましたが、どのチームも素晴らしい戦いぶりでした。勝ち残った4チームのうちどのチームがスプラトゥーン2ヨーロピアンチャンピオンシップ2018、2019の勝者に輝くのか、本日の準決勝、決勝がとても楽しみです。さあ皆さん、この大会の最終ステージを一緒に楽しみましょう。そして勝ち上がったチームの皆さん、頑張ってください。一人一人がベストを尽くせるよう私も応援しています。それではアビエント。
Como arigato gozaimashita, Nogami-san. Are you ready to see some of the best Splatoon 2 players from Europe battle it out on the stage? 12 teams qualified to be here. Yesterday, they played in the group stages. They were split into 4 groups. The winner of each group is going to be walking onto the stage for your semi-finals, battling it out to make their way into the finals. Let's chat a little bit about those teams now. Our reigning champions are back. Back Squids is coming back. They want to defend that title. They are the favorites for the competition, but there's another team that has home soil advantage. Alliance Rogue from France is coming in here. They've got the crowd. They've got the support. If anything, they can potentially cause an upset and beat back Squids. There's also another team that could cause an upset, the Dark Horse, if you like. They've already taken out fan favorites Team Mako in the group stages. They are, of course, the Nordic team, Ampari Gang. And finally, see, they got a little bit of support. Finally, though, these are the underdogs because we don't know a lot about them. But if anyone's going to shake things up a little bit, it is, of course, Polarized from Spain. Those are your 4 teams, and they are all battling it out to be called the Splatoon 2 European Champions. On top of that, they want to take home the Splatoon 2 trophy next to me. They want those winners' jerseys, and they want these really sick gold Nintendo controllers. Can you imagine taking one of these home? I definitely want one. Maybe I'll steal one quickly and just run backstage. None of you saw anything, okay? It's now time, though, to get into the action. Our first semi-final, I'm going to chat a bit about both of these games. They will be best of 5s. When we move into the final, we'll have a best of 7, and we'll break that down a little bit more. But I think it's time that we get the teams on the stage. What do you think? Please make some noise and help me introduce from Spain, it's Team Polarized. They're coming back to defend their title. They are your previous champions from Germany. This is Back Squids. While our teams warm up, we're going to make sure that we don't miss a single drop of ink. So I have an incredible shark casting team joining me now. It is your Splat by Splat commentator, Bowie, and he is joined by a previous European champion, professional Splatoon 2 player, Wasdom. They're in the commentators box. Gents, let's have a little chat here about this best of 5 format for the semifinals. Walk me through the modes and the maps that we're going to see played.
Thank you very much indeed, Tech Girl. My name is Bowie, and I'm of course joined by Watson here in the booth. The crowd is absolutely electric today. It's great to see. As we've mentioned, two fantastic teams coming up onto the stage right now. Reigning champions, who I know that you've played with as well in the past, and obviously Polarized. I mean, we're looking at the teams here. First of all, we'll just quickly go through the teams and then have a look at these maps and modes. The back squids consist of Echo, Margin, Kaito, and Ben, who, as we've known, have been incredible players across the board. Echo, specifically, you were mentioning yesterday, is a force to be reckoned with. Such a stoic and brilliant leader for the entire team, and that's what makes him so good.
Yeah, especially on his role, the Charger, he just brings so much structure into the game, and having a Charger is just so safe in an environment like this. Like, if someone can make a difference on backsplits, it's him. Like, if he gets the impact plays, if he just hits his shots, that can win them the entire tournament here today.
Sounds good. On the other side, we have, of course, Polarized, consisting of Lewis Boo, Anto, Loki, and Roderick. And yesterday we saw Roderick play a lot of great Splatoon, really influential across all of their games that they played yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can bring against the reigning champions. So let's have a look at these maps and modes and Watson. So what are we going into for game one?
Yeah, first game, it's Clamblitz New Albacore Hotel. This is one of those maps where it's really hard to push to the basket. Like, there's only 3 ways to push there, and 2 of them consist of grids, so you can only walk over there. You can't really swim through, so you're really exposed. It's really hard to push in there. And this is one of those maps where it's a really slow-paced map because you can't really force pushes that much.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to like those like set pieces and that pushing together and those like waves of pressure.
The completely opposite of Makomard yesterday. We saw only KOs on this map on Clamblitz since it's so easy to push to the basket, but this map is the complete opposite. So we can be excited what the teams have prepared for this map to actually crack the defense.
If you are just joining us and maybe not so sure on the specifics of something like Clamblitz, it is a newer mode, so some people may not know so much. The idea is to grab as many clams as you can. If someone grabs 10 together, they'll get the power clam, throw that to an enemy like point, which it looks like a big ball. It breaks and a basket appears. Throw the clams in and get even more points, and obviously get that the 100-point KO. So it's one of those ones where it's like a 2-part kind of game. You've got to collect everything and get that map control, and then press into that main area. So that is our first game, and then if game 2, we're going to be going over to tower control on the reef. So
the reef, being that kind of the beginner stage, we had it for so long. It's one of the smallest stages, so aggressiveness is really rewarded here, small spaces. And both of the teams have pretty aggressive lineups. Like, Echo is one of the most aggressive chargers we have out there. But also looking at Spain's side, they have 3 Slayer players here, offensive players. They need to flex to a support there. I'm curious to see who's going to do that. But
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you have a team that's kind of comprised of one kind of like play style, you need to try and flex. As you say, flex around that, but also be very, be a little bit adapt as best as you can. But as you say, this map is going to be one where a lot of aggression is going to really play into their hands. Like I guess everyone's going to be very well experienced with this map, and we'll see what they can bring out. As for game 3, we're looking at splat zones on Moray Towers.
Moray Towers, it's the complete opposite. It's one of the biggest maps in the game.
Yeah,
the most vertical one. Maybe not a fan favorite, but some hate it, some love it. I mean, on this map, especially splat zones, you can push up a lot to the spawn and just lock out the opponent pretty much, because it's such a long way to get to mid. So pretty exciting, long-range weapons excel there. Let's see what they bring up.
Those are, of course, our first 3 matches. It is a best of 5. So if we do have to push further forward, we will be seeing we'll be seeing a couple more modes in Rainmaker and Tower Control, and we'll get to those if they become relevant. But it is a best of 3, and we want to see that game 5 as well.
Totally.
So that's how it's looking up here, Sam. How are things on your end? To Tech Girl.
Is ready for some action. Our teams are ready to start playing. We have back squids taking on Polarized in our first semi-final of the Splatoon 2 European Championships. They are ready. Let's have a quick chat as we go into game. Gents, tell me a little bit about Polarized specifically. We keep calling them the underdogs, but in all fairness, they had a very easy run to the semi-finals yesterday during the group stages.
Yeah, I mean, easy is one of those words that we. I mean, it was one of those big games. Like they had perhaps they had no like of the major obvious top seeds, let's say, quote unquote, in their group, but they had great resistance coming out from the
Portugal's,
the Portuguese team. Excuse me. Yes. So they had to fight very, very hard to get out of their group, but they didn't have one of those top seeds to overcome. But as we were saying a bit earlier, Roderick specifically, as was playing very, very strong for their team and was putting in some serious work. And the audience getting excited. We're jumping into our first game. So here we are, your first semi-final of the Splatoon 2 European Championship here in Paris. It's Backsquids versus Polarized. Okay, so we are
looking at the team comps here. Both teams opt for a Kansas splatter shot with the Booyah Bomb respectively. It has been buffed as of lately, gained traction as of the past, and already 2 splats coming in for Backsquids here. That should at least get a mid control here. Echo, he's losing the 1v1 to Loki here, but the revenge splat already by Kaito here.
Nice
so
and
things
quick.
are about, self jumps coming in. Self jump being an ability which hides your super jumps, 2 mids.
Trying to play with maybe a little bit few of these extra skills just to maybe confound their opponents. Anto looking for a splat here and there, but unable to actually confirm their splats back and forth from both teams so far. Nothing major in terms of getting huge control and pushing forward. Margin on this lower side, though, just trying to pressurize the opponent across this grate, which, as you say, you can't swim over, you have to walk, which makes it hard. Ben on the far side. Yeah, Roderick does go down on that far side as Ben pushes to take down Loki, who also goes down, but gets taken down by Anto just before.
Yeah, I think that's Margin pushing from the far left side right now. Yeah, he has a power clamp already. Kaito is with him as well. They have the baller. They could just go for that power play baller into super jump to get that first basket and the first points.
Yeah, so one thing you're going to see a lot of, or at least it is quite a strong choice for most players, is going to be using these power plays, by which using multiple skills. You can see the baller being used there, and normally you have teammates jump to your point, but Polarized go down 2-1 right now, but they are still surviving. As I say that, though, Kaito comes in, and the first power clamp is down.
Yeah, they still have some clamps at their disposal. They can extend the lead and extend that push. See
Roderick. Echo!
Yeah. Can he find another one?
Trying to find that second splat if he can, but you can see the evasive maneuvers gets taken down eventually, though, by Anto. It seems like on that top side, 2 for 1 now, and this is the ability for Polarized to push back.
Solid defense by them. They already have found 2 splats as well. They have 1 power clam lying mid. They have the so-called pity clam in their spawn, which you get after the enemy broke your basket. So they have a good clam economy right here right now.
Yeah,
so
they have to be careful, though. You can see Echo just waiting on that far side, being a very strong defensive force. And it's three Inklings down for the side of Polarized. Excuse me.
That's effectively a full wipe. So yeah, Backsquids in full control of the mid area. They have some clamps themselves right now, but they don't have any specials yet to push in. Yeah, they get the baller now. Margin on the far top right side. He's going for the baller, gets 1 splat already. He's pushing in. That might allow for the jump, but no. Yeah, Ben going left side. He was, no one was minding him since, Margin was just distracting all of them.
You can see Echo here just
scary now.
Yeah, Echo here just being again a scary point on this top, unable to be taken down, just holding point for his teammates who are able to jump to him every single time. And then you can see they're just taking down the opponents once again. 2 for 2 now. Can they get any more clams in? No, they can't. 31 points is going to be the score for now. Polarized have to make some kind of play into this game soonish because we're running out of time.
They're stabilizing, but it's really up to them to get that mid control now to set up the next push. Ben is still there. Anto finds these splats though. Echo already setting up on the grids on the far right side.
Yeah. Roderick here trying to make as good play as he can. Sees that he's being focused down by Echo. Gets out of the position. You can see Roderick trying to cross this grate if they can. Trying to find that pressure. Takes down Echo. And Roderick's through.
There's Bendo.
And out comes the bubble blower.
Split, but it's still a 3v2.
Oh, misses the throw. Loki grabs it again though. Can he get? He does get that first points on the board for Polarized.
But that's a push now. They still have some clamps. They need to get the splats here. It's a 3v3 right now. Loki finds the splat on Kaito. Anto, can he get Margin as well?
Does go down. This is very good right now for Polarized. They're fighting back.
Spawning right next to them. They can extend the push. Yeah, that's scary. It's only Louis Brewer alive right now, but
that is a really strong push. That is a really strong push. 44
still have 1
now.
minute left, so this is still like Backsquids are in the lead, but yeah, the Spanish team can take it at any time.
Good strong pushback from Polarized, showing that whilst we do have our champions in the German squad, the Spanish, the underdogs, still showing that they have the quality to be here. Roderick escapes back to safety. You can see the Stingray coming out now from Echo. That back line so strong. Margin walking over the grates to get to that central point.
Yeah, Backswitch has good mid control right now. So the Spanish team might need to invest specials to actually push back the mid. Actually, Backswitch is going for a pretty aggressive play here, using specials to even get to that, to get another push in. But yeah, it seems like Margin is completely wrong on the right side. Can he be stopped? I think he's gonna get the clamp, but I don't agree with this play, because all it does, he can't really follow up with any clamps. They're getting wiped eventually, and they're just giving the opponent another power clamp, allowing them for a good overtime, potentially a push to win the lead.
Indeed, barriers back up, and here is overtime. Loki has got the power clamp. He has to make a move. Kaito is waiting on that far side as well.
Echo got already a split there. That's super important.
Yeah,
like we see on the top, they're close to getting that ball already.
Roderick, though, going in there, taking down Echo, but gets taken down himself. Loki's the only one left alive.
That's the full wipe. Yeah, that should be the game for Backswitch here.
They're not going to be able to get back to that power clam. And first game going over to Backsquid, the reigning champions, opening up that semi-final in emphatic fashion.
I mean, looking back at yesterday, Backswitch just had 4 KOs in 4 matches. And now it went to overtime, so it really shows that, yeah, we're on a different level here now. This is the best of Europe, so...
Polarized did do a great job of having that counter push and bringing it all the way, like, you know, to a 13-point difference. That was very strong from them, and they managed to get splats here and there. And whilst there was that almost melee, that maelstrom of action going on by the basket, they managed to get splats whilst also throwing in the clams when they could. It was good multitasking from Polarized, but the eventual strength of Backsquid was too strong. They fended off that push, and then finally managed to get that push back. And that was the end of Polarized campaign in that particular game, but it was a good start from them.
Some more maps up here. We are heading to Tower Control the Reef. Like we mentioned before, small mech aggressiveness is rewarded here. Both teams are kind of known for their aggressiveness.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes down to who individually outplays who, especially in the front line.
Yeah. I mean, looking over at that front line as well, when we saw Roderick, you know, he's breaking into these, breaking past the front line, trying to get his way into Echo specifically as well, and he's doing a great job of just being a hazard right now, and he's been doing very well, just as we saw yesterday. So it's going to be good to see what he can do when when you say a map that really, I guess, rewards aggressive play. If he's going to be, you know, getting into that backline and just becoming this like antagonistic like property within the map, I'm just going to see how well he can do to get into Backsquids then. But, you know, that said, we do have, you know, strong work coming out from Margin and Kaito as well to, like, counter that back. But, no, as you say, tower control, bit of a different map as well. We're going to be having to ride that tower all the way through those checkpoints. And it's one of those games that may feel like it is a little bit slower pace than something like, you know, say Rainmaker or whatever. But it does, it can kind of run out. But we're jumping into game 2 now.
And we're seeing the Blastron side of Polarized here. A Blaster is a prominent weapon on this type of mode, especially since it can really just contest the tower. You can't really hide behind the tower, since the Blaster can just split you behind it.
And we have the Kensa undercover as well from, I believe, Margin there,
Well, they find Roderick, though. Ben also finds another split.
Ooh, 1 for 1 there.
That's already a good opening.
That's a really strong start. 3 for 1 to begin with. They're going to be making their way onto that tower and starting that push now. They are up to the first checkpoint already, and they are taking that down with relative ease. There it goes.
There's a Stingray ready on the side of Polarized. They also use it already. Echo with the 1v1. Stingray 1v1. He finds the splat. That's huge for them, because that effectively means they can safely push through the second checkpoint. You see Roderick trying to flank here on the left side. They spotted him out, though. They're aware of him. Yeah, that's already a pretty good lead. They're already close to this third checkpoint, but
there is a massive team wipe, though, from Polarized, who stopped that advance nice and, well, early-ish.
Yeah, but already 2 checkpoints for Team Backswitch here. That's a huge start for them. So let's see how the Spanish squad responds here.
Indeed, 24 points left on the board for Backswitch to get, so they're going to start making their campaign here. Loki goes down in the center to Ben, who does get taken down as well. Lewis Boo unleashes the Inkjet and will start trying to catch anyone if he can. Maybe he can get 1 or 2 splats there. Gets 1! Just about, as Margin was just about to finish him off himself.
If he wouldn't got that kill, he would have gone down to Margin, because he was just camping his landing spot.
Yeah. Roderick now does get taken down by Kaito. And Echo and Ben there as this united front taking over the bridge, going around the side. Echo is just doing so much work from down there.
Yeah, we're trading just splats right here. I mean, Polarized really needs to invest some specials to win the first neutral, just to start something here.
Great evasion there from
and you see Kaito and Ben always playing around the bridge area. If you control that bridge on this map, you have an overview over the whole map. You can drop onto the lower grounds, and that gives such control for the whole team.
Yeah, and you can see Ben as well, you know, preemptively using that baller to get into the enemy side and to start taking ground on that side. Echo phases back, grabs the Stingray, takes one down, Roderick that is, and has to push back with a little bit of pressure coming out. Counter Stingray from Anto. Does he get any splats for it?
He can at least stall, but his teammates need to go in, like especially if he pressures with the Stingray. They need to get those splats.
You can see the strength right now. The strength of Back Squids. Whoa, taking down a KO there, showing that their strength, they can,
yeah,
they can do anything.
Consistently kept winning those 1v1s and forcing 2v1 situations, winning the neutral, getting more splats, having more opening, and just not allowing Polarized to start anything on this map.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You were talking about how you know, the slower paced nature of New Albacore Hotel as a whole maybe did play a little bit of a part of why Polarized were able to kind of come back and fight a lot more there in a game where Back Squids have a lot more aggression on their side, and they can, you know, use that smaller stage to, you know, really go through the choke points and kind of just push and pressurize the opponents so much that they can't fight back. Yeah. And then you can see how strong they are. Reminder that this is what
they're the reigning champion, not for nothing, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And they showed that, yeah, that's exactly what we expect from them.
Yeah, it was nice to see those wonderful golden pro controllers as well. The one of the rewards that our teams are playing for, shining gloriously on the stage in the center. Reminder of what's at stake here. Currently, it's 2-0 then to the reigning European champions, Back Squids from Germany, and our underdogs from Spain, Polarized, looking to put, you know, get a point on the board, but, you know, showed a lot of heart here and there, especially in game 1. So yeah, let's have a look over to game 3 then. Let's remind ourselves of where we're going for this particular map.
Yeah, we are on Splat Zone's Moray Tower.
That's the one. Splat Zone's Moray Tower.
This is one of the slower maps, since it's just so huge. You've got to control a lot of space, so longer weapons excel here, especially the charger. Both teams had the charger. A2 on answer to on side of Polarized, and of course Echo, we talked about him earlier, for Back Squid. So it really comes also down to which charger just takes out the other charger more. Yeah. And just finds more splat and controls more space. When it comes to Moray Towers, the verticality is the biggest thing here. It's a very, very tall stage, and it's going to be, as you say, charge is going to be very, very important. That longer range, that ability to pressurize from above is going to be strong. And, you know, we've seen from Back Squids that they have that kind of quality coming out from the majority of their roster. So we're going to see how that goes when we jump into game very, very shortly, and we'll see how our players are doing. But one more game, and then we have Back Squids, the reigning champions, in the grand finals. If they win, if they get that one more, can we see a game 4? But it's all on Polarized to do that. And I think, as you say, Splat Zones, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like we were mentioning it yesterday during group phases, is that when the zone is controlled, you don't have time to muck around or like regroup or do things. You have to stop that timer because it's always going to be going down. It's not like, you know, if you look at something like you know, tower control, it resets to the neutral. Yeah, sure, you get your penalty points if you get control completely wrenched off. But if it's not completely wrenched off, you're in trouble. But here we go. It seems like we're starting already off. Moray Tower is looking at the comms. Yeah, we see Majin on the Ken's undercover, an amazing painting machine. Basically, it just puts out so much turf and gets so many supportive specials.
And we can see these 2 splat zones there on the bottom, separated in that center. Lewis Boo using that sloshing machine just to get some hits here and there.
It's also interesting to see Polarized not opting for the charger here. Instead, we have the Explosion as the preferred backline here. But he's, that's effective wipe already. And this is pretty scary on this map, because you could push up pretty far here and just lock out the opponent. Not easily, but even if you die here, you can just jump back to your teammates, because they have so much room to make up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, really pushing in. And you can see now both control points currently from Back Squids as the time is ticking down, and just pushing so far into enemy territory, making it very difficult for the opposing team, the Polarized, to get back into this game.
And you just saw the aggressiveness of Echo. He's one of the most aggressive starters. He just pushed up with them, used his Stingray pretty close to the enemies, but they find 2 picks. They neutralize their own zone. Can they get the cap? That's exactly what they need right now. Oh, they find Echo. He jumps off the map. I think they're gonna get these super jump as well, and they should cap it here.
They just need to just get that complete, confirm, get the other one
never
before.
mind.
Can
He's
they
the
get
only
that
one
one?
live. Can he get the cap?
That's really unfortunate. They didn't press and push their advantage when they had it, and then once again they don't get the bonus points onto their opponents, and that's going to be huge. That could actually be a big difference in this game.
Amazingly played by Backswitch to stay alive there. Like all odds were against them in that situation, but someone individually popped off there. And it's only 18 points on the map. Ento already dropped. He has the ball already.
You can see Lewis Boo there going through. He has to make something happen here. Has to stop this timer if they can. Can they get it? They stop the timer for a little bit. They can't do it.
It's 2v2 in mid. It's 2v2 in mid. Lewis Boo is down there. Rodrick's coming with the ball to assist Margin on the flank.
Oh, not just yet. They're going to 3, 2, and 1. They stop it once more. Can they get the finish? It's going down. They get a turnaround. What a huge counter attack there.
Now they got 3 more minutes to do the comeback here.
Ooh, that was important. They've now got a huge buffer.
And they find Echo as well. Like finally they're pushing up here. This could be the start of something.
Lewis Boo trying to pressurize on that far side. You can see they're doing what Backswitch are doing previously, trying to push up as far as possible, make it difficult for them to do anything.
Already. Lewis Boo trying to push up here, finds Margin. Amazing play by him. He might go down to Kaito though.
Trying to stay alive.
Touching everything though.
Absolutely moving like a Quicksilver right now. Beautiful
Echo
movement.
finds Rodrick though, but yeah, it's effectively a 2v3 right now for Loki. But if Loki can find the spot on Echo here,
gets taken down
but
now.
Look at the timer. They got close to taking the lead here. I mean, we are still 2 minutes in the game, so everything is possible as of right now.
So currently we do have the timer ticking down back on Backsquid's side. There is 2 main points left, but these penalty points are going to be in charge. And again, they've given themselves a little bit of breathing room here.
Spot out Ben.
They
Yeah,
get
2v1ing him.
Nice flank
That's the opening for them to push back again. They almost have a Booyah Bomb here. Yeah. Uses it immediately. Probably just pressuring their zone. Yeah.
Takes away the timer for a little moment.
They
Gets one space. They get a second one.
Kaito in mid, kind of exposed. Can they find him?
Yeah, double splat there.
Splat.
No. Loki pushing forward once more. Can they get any pushback from
only
this?
Only Kaito live on the far left side with the machine.
They have to be covering this ground. They have to have both to get that.
They also can't
timer
allow
back.
Kaito to just stay there to get the jumps back. I think Kaito wisely retreated there, so they can push up again to try to lock them out.
Great stuff from Polarized now, pushing back into their own deficit.
But Loki already goes down, I think, to a bomb, just, yeah, being thrown down to snipe. And that's the armor, that's the push Backswitch is looking for. They also have the ball already, but Echo goes down somehow in the backline. Yeah. So if they can stop Ben here, Ben finds one pick, but counter baller popped here by Ento, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that, and now it's been pushed back onto the side of Backsquid. It's so back and forward now. That first push being the main difference, though.
Rodrick is still in there, though. He's getting called out. I don't think he can. Yeah, he tries to jump out. Unfortunately, he can't do so. But his teammates already pushed back quite a bit. But Ben is flanking him. Yeah. They're kind of staggering the kills right now. And that's not exactly what Polarized wants. Because as you look up, that's only 30 penalty on there.
You see there, though, Lewis Boo getting 2 hits.
Effectively 2v2, Rodrick dropping on left side.
Yeah,
they're also jumping in, but I think, yeah, they need to regroup a bit more. But yeah, now kind of the timer is playing against them. Rodrick tries to buy some time. He needs to stay alive, allowing for super jump. Then just kept one zone to stay alive here. They're in control of their own zone, but they go on one. This could be rough.
There's our last point there, and they can't see it through. Backsquids.
They advance to grand finals just like last year, and they're in to win this one again.
Nice 3-0 there from Backsquids, indeed. They a well-fought game there from Polarized. They did great jobs to stay in the game as much as they could, but Backsquids showing their pedigree and reminding the Spanish why exactly they are the reigning European champions. But there you have, yeah, Backsquids did a great job. You could see, you know, we were talking about how these slower-paced games are maybe working in favor of Polarized, able to just kind of maybe stall out a little bit more. And then their first counter push was very impressive.
Yeah, they almost they got it down to like 20 points or so. That's not far from getting the lead or KOing even there.
Yeah, especially how quickly the time and points can tick down when you're like not quite aware of them. They're like, oh, actually, there's like 15 points have gone in just a second. It feels like, especially when there's so much action going on and you're just trying to deal with so much. But fantastic first set coming out from both teams there, but Backsquids do keep their hopes alive to get those Golden Pro controls. You can see them there, standing up, a bit proud of themselves. Happy with that one, but the Spanish did put in a fantastic showing today here in Paris.
Yeah, just getting to that stage. I mean, they had to battle through their regional tournaments like taking out all the top contenders in their country, then also coming here to the European Championship, getting through the group stage, taking out other reigning champions of the respective countries.
Yeah. And then obviously managing to qualify actually in the group stage as well, beat out other champions of other regions and make it to this wonderful stage. Congratulations to them for making it this far. They will obviously take home, I believe, joint third, I believe, with the other loser of the other semi-final. But top 4 in Europe is not much to sniff at. It's a pretty good result. But what we'll do is we'll throw it over to Tech Girl on the stage to have a quick interview with the Back Squid. Tech Girl.
We have our first finalist for the Splatoon 2 European Championships. It is Back Squid, and standing with me right now is Echo. We get to have a little chat to him about that game. A very clean, calculated win, impressive. Tell me though, in map number 3, it seemed like Polarized might have a chance to claw it back.
Yeah, I mean, basically we had the chance to KO, but we kind of overextended and were too greedy for the kills and just maybe threw it a bit. But just one more thing, it's Kaito's birthday today, so, well,
Should we sing a little happy birthday for him? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this could be a really great birthday present because you're now in the finals. You could potentially win the championship. When we get back into the game, though, who do you think is the team that you're probably going to have to face off against?
I mean, it's very hard to say because both teams are very equally as good in skill, but I feel like the maps are kind of on Ampere's side because they're pretty small and so you don't need really a backliner. But I don't know what to say. They're both like equal.
You're ready for both, right? Yeah. You got this.
Of course.
Fighting talk from our reigning champs. They will be coming back in your finals to defend that title. But first, they're going to have to face off against the winner of the next semi-final. We're going to take a quick run back to spawn, and when we return, Impari Gang faces off against Alliance Rogue. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to the Splatoon 2 European Championships. We had 12 teams competing yesterday in the group stages. We've narrowed them down to 4. They were competing in the semi-finals. We already have our first finalists, last year's champions, Backsquids. We just saw them make the finals, and now we need to find out who joins them. Are you ready for our second semi-final? We have a packed audience here in Paris, France, so I'm going to ask them to make as much noise as possible to welcome the dark horses in this race. It is the Nordic team, Impari Gang! And I can already see in the crowd that the flags are ready. They are the home team. They are playing on home soil. This is your French team, Alliance Rogue. Fat Cat making sure that he makes an appearance as well. I want to know, because we have this entire crowd here in Paris with us watching all the action live. You need to let us know which team you're supporting in the semi-final. Let us know in the chats. But now I'm going to ask our audience, which team do you think is going through to the finals? They've made their decisions. You need to make your decisions. But I'm now going to chat to our casters, Bowie and Wasdom. Gents, I want to know from you, we mentioned here that Impari Gang was the dark horses, if you like. We've also mentioned that Alliance Rogue had a really fast run in the group stages yesterday. Walk me through the star players on either of these teams and why they both could potentially cause a scary risk for Backsquids if they make the finals. Or don't. I mean, I can answer that.
Well, yeah, there we go. Hello, I'm Bowie, this is What. Yeah, so this is a bit of a tricky question, and the reason is because both of these teams are stacked. There's no star player.
Get better than that.
Yeah, I mean,
basically.
if you look to Imperi Gang, you say trying to pull a star player out of Sendo, Plontro, Kaldemar, and Nike. I mean, they're all well-experienced players. They've all been around for a while, and they're all brilliant players. I mean, I know that Sendo is perhaps one of the more well-known players in that particular team, being a member of Ghost Gaming as well, of course. A very strong international team here in Europe.
Yeah, you mentioned Ghost Gaming. Like, we have 4 people of Ghost Gaming playing in this tournament, in this match particularly. And also, like, their biggest rival in the European scene, Kraken Paradise, like, also the top contender for the scene. There's also 3 players playing in this match right now. So it doesn't get better than that. They know each other pretty well. So they're basically playing against teammates right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, looking onto the other side, obviously, Soren's a well-known player. Kiva, Urza, and Gray as well on the side of Alliance Rogue. I mean, I've seen Kiva play for a few years as well, and he's always been impressive whenever he's shown up. So it's hard to say who's going to be the star player for each of these teams, just looking at it. But I've always been, at least on Imperi Gang side, I've always been interested watching Nike and Plontro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Slusher.
Yeah, they just work so nicely together as well. They're kind of like Wargroove Pikemen, you know. They're in like adjacent squares. They just go in and do so much damage. So it's just good to see.
It's really hard to play against.
Yeah,
that's
for
a
sure.
nightmare.
Oh man, yeah, it's one of those hard ones. We were discussing a little bit earlier as well, Watson. We were thinking, like, who do we think between these two teams is going to win this one? And I was thinking, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a 3-0, absolutely not.
No.
But I think my own personal take is I'm going to back. I mean, I'm not going to make any like. I'm not going to put my money on this, but it's like, Imperi Gang. I think that they've got something very good here, especially when we're looking at those maps and modes that we were looking at earlier.
Yeah, like Imperi Gang doesn't play with a backline. Meanwhile, Aliens Rook, they actually flex to a backline. Soren's going to play backline today. And some of those maps, they favor also non-backline comps, so that's kind of in favor of Imperi. I think Echo also mentioned that as well. Pretty close range maps, so long range doesn't excel that well there. So, but still, if I would need to make a prediction, even though it's super close, it can go either way. I would give the edge to the France team.
Okay, well they are on home turf, and they do have that home field advantage. The crowd obviously going nuts for them, which is lovely to hear.
They want to get that revenge set against Backsquid. Like last year, they were so close to taking the whole thing. They just for sure took Backsquid, so they want the revenge against them.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a little bit of revenge against the players who beat you, but man, this is going to be an electric match for sure. It's going to be crazy. Just let's have a little look at this. So we've got, as you say, Clan Blitz on New Albacore Hotel, Tower Control on the Reef, and then Splat Zones for Moray Towers. I think we're going to see a Game 4. And so I think, Game 4 is looking at Rainmaker on Black Belly Skate Park.
Yeah, Rainmaker, we haven't seen that mode as of yet. It's like one of the most fast-paced modes. It can go either way. Like one team wipe is enough to get such a good lead that you can just win the whole game off of it. And Black Belly Skate Park is also one of those maps, which is pretty a pretty small map. You kind of don't have that much room to maneuver around, so a lot of interactions going on there. Also, aggressiveness is again favored on that map. And if we are lucky enough to get a Game 5 though, we would go over to Tower Control again, this time on Piranha Pit.
Ooh, okay, yeah, sure. So obviously the tower likes to hover over that dead space in the center, which makes it very hard to kind of like get onto and then push. It was really
this is
intriguing.
one of the
map
most outstanding tower maps, like one of the most unique ones.
Yeah, so you can see the Nordic team there, mostly from Finland, I should specify as well. Obviously, the Nordic's made up of 4 lovely countries: Denmark, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. But the Finnish team was the one that came through. I think there was one team that had like one Norwegian player in there as well. So that was a really fun finals. Reminder, obviously, that all these teams did come through their own regional qualifiers and did have to beat out everyone in their own country to get to this point. And they all had their own heartbeat and breath when you go there. They all felt so unique and so different, and that was what was lovely to see and be part of all of these events over the course of the year. The wonderful thing about the European Championships is that we're bringing so many different countries, so many different cultures together, all to celebrate one lovely game. Totally. and it's great to really kind of do that together.
Also, Emperor Gang yesterday in groups, they already faced the UK, one of the top contenders for the tournament, and it was a close match, but they end up winning 2-0 here. So they already proved themselves to be a top contender here at this point. Yeah,
I mean, and the thing is, like, Team Mako, who they beat out, are not an easy team to beat, and to do it, in a 2-0, regardless of how close those games were, shows the quality that is going to be coming out of the Nordic team. But of course, I mean, Alliance Rogue have been doing this for a long time. We are about to be getting into our next game 15 seconds to go, and then we're going to be jumping up. So guys, in the audience, make some noise for the teams you want to hear. It's your second semi-final, Alliance Rogue versus Emperor Gang. And then there was silence. Here we go, Clan Blitz on New Albacore Hotel. We've got in yellow.
This is where it begins. We see Sendu already on the Tentarbella and Gray doing the same. The Tentarbella being like the most... You can push so well with this weapon. The giant shield, the bubbles, which it also has. Especially on this map where it's so hard to correct the defense, when you have to push over those grids, it just comes in super handy. And they're really going at it.
The Brella immediately starting off.
But he's getting
Sendo does go down.
It's 2 down.
2 down on the side of Emperor Gang, as Alliance Rogue will now be pushing their way forward.
But Nike finds Urza, but Gray somehow sneaks in already. He can save himself with the Brella. Can he confirm the kill here as well? He's getting saved by Sendu.
Gray staying
amazing
alive.
2-1. Like, this is already starting off great.
He was just holding so much time and space for that. He was 2v1, but he wasn't going down. He was just getting so many resources on his attention. Very good stuff.
Yeah, Urza already finding the max opening pick here. Sendu also dropping into mid already. He can't, and also Blunder's there as well in the baller, but I don't think he can survive when there's like all 4 of them.
So many. Alliance Rogue just shutting down.
They have full mid control now. They can just collect some clans, get some specials to start a really good push here. There's Stingray already coming in here by Soren, flexing on the backline. He's on that, on that heavy splatling. Heavy splatling being also another good weapon on this map, especially on those grids, where it can just walk around. But now, the response by Finland or the Nordics here, 3 down on side of France. So they kind of regain mid here. They're still trading splats left and right though.
Yeah, Sendo there taking his stance. He's the only one alive now on the Nordic team as Urza is trying to finish off that his opponent and gets it.
They're just going ham at each other at this point, like trading kills left and right, and yeah, at least for both teams, it's up to just regain that mid control as of first, just to get those clams to start the necessary push.
Plontreux here.
Oh, they swapped out someone on the far right side. I think they're 2v1ing right now, but
waiting here, just getting over the top, trying to get that punish if
waiting
possible.
For your teammate to.
There's pressure coming out.
Yeah, they find Soren now.
Yeah, Soren goes down, so
Urza immediately responding with Splat for France.
Kaldemar being
it's just going back and forth right now, like.
In the 2v1, couldn't get that finish off. Kiva here, maybe going to get that 2v1 success, but manages to survive and push back. Kaldemar is being pushed around the map completely as Plontreux goes down, and Gray on the far side is having a 1v1 with Sendo. The Brella action once more. Out come the bubbles.
Oh, but Sendo even wins that. Amazing play by them. But at this point, I mean, they've been kind of trading splats left and right for like half the match already. And it really comes down to which team can just coordinate their specials and their team play better at this point to just get more splats to, have an opening. And it seems like Finland is about to, they also have the bubbles. This will make,
There we go, Sendo's in.
Sendo can just stay around that area for like forever. They get a good lead, like 56 already good, and they find 2 splats as well. Soren also going down, it's only Urza. He needs to find the splats. Oh, that's a full wipe.
A full wipe. Can they get any more? There we go.
Kaldemar is jumping in. He's going to keep that push alive, and that's exactly the push they were looking for. Since this map is so easy to defend, it's so hard to crack as a pushing team. So even if they get shut down with the push, that's still an amazing lead.
They took there a little bit of time to get going.
They're finding splats here. The ball as well.
Oh my word! Emperry Gang after a great play.
What a statement on this map. Like, they just played a KO them, and you can't ask for a better start than that.
That was so quick. Sendo's smiling at that one. Plontreux quite stoic as always, but Alliance Rogue has had a strong start, and they were all over Emperry Gang, but Emperry Gang just waited and waited and waited. They found their moment. They dug deep and went, you know what? Let's start playing this game now. You know, you're in semi-finals. Welcome to the way we're going to be playing. Alliance Rogue had a good start on the back foot to begin with, though, as Sendo and crew really just battened down the hatches and I mean, that first game, it was on 50, then suddenly it was over. I was like, all right, sure. GG,
but you can see how close together, like skill-wise, they all are.
Oh,
like
yeah.
2.5 minutes, like half the match, they were just trading left and right. And as soon as one team just got the advantage in mid, they immediately took that advantage and just pushed it to a KO.
Yes.
At this level, they're unforgiving. Like, you can't give them any opening. And
and you can see that quality from both sides, as you were saying as well. I mean, there was that moment when Kiva was doing like incredible 1v2s and just slowly pressing and pushing back the opponent. Kaldemar was like all over the shot whenever Kiva was around, but as soon as they had that that ability to kind of get into the team fight and get those victories, the push was so strong, and it was great to see the Brella on Brella from almost like second or one. The game started and there was just Brellas going at each other. We saw that consistently, but Sendo winning out a few of those here and there, but
that makes a difference.
First game going over to Emperry Gang 1-0. Doesn't mean it's over yet, of course. I mean, Emperry Gang still need to win 2 more, and there are 4 maps left to play. So, who knows how it's going to go. Game 2, though, tower control.
Yeah,
the Reef.
I mean, we were on New Albacore Hotel. That's one of the biggest maps in the game as well. Also, Emperry Gang didn't play a backline. They won't play one here as well on the Reef, but they don't need to. The Reef is like, I talked about it earlier as well. Keep it right.
Got that smile going.
But yeah, I would have favored France for the first match, but you just saw how Finland responded to that, and they can look to extend the lead right now and take that momentum.
Yeah, but we're going to be jumping into our second game now momentarily. It's all but over just yet. Game 1 down, Emperry Gang 1 and Alliance Rogue 0. We're jumping into the second game. It's going to be tower control on the Reef. Let's make some noise for our players, guys.
We will probably see some. Yeah, I was just about to say Kenza undercover here on side of Cray. This weapon is just a beast at pushing the tower. You can just get on it, and you basically you need to thread through the shield first, and you can just distract your opponent forever with the torpedo. You really gotta respect that. Sendo already opening up aggressively. The armor on side of France, though, they find already 2 picks. They just waited for that armor and then pushed in after that. That was probably the right call here. Gives them the early advantage early on here.
Alliance Rogue, though, getting a very, very strong start.
Yeah, they also find Nike on the bridge, so there's no flanks coming in. The first checkpoint already secured for Alliance Rogue here. There's no one flanking on the left side as well. Kiver's already... but Kaldemar's coming for the bridge. They didn't watch that.
Kaldemar managed to get that flank, but gets taken down immediately by the opponent.
Yeah, right now, just Stingray's coming in. Kiver with the baller as well. They need to find the picks here to even... They get the second checkpoint.
Wow, very strong right now from Alliance Rogue. Triple splat coming out from Kiver!
Can he get the fourth one?
Can he get that complete team wipe himself? He's been so strong this game. Beautiful to see from him. One more checkpoint stands in the way.
He also has the ball already on the far left side. He unfortunately goes down though, so this might be an opportunity to stabilize for the Finnish squad here. But what a lead already and what a push.
What a play there from that team. Great stuff coming out from Kiver specifically. Being an MVP in that place, well, his teammates were supporting wonderfully for him. Soren having to just get out of dodge.
To finally regain mid here. And I think they're just about to do that. Soren's jumping out as well. And yeah, that's effectively only Gray in mids. He's the support player. He can't do much on his own. Nike, he doesn't know he's there. Like Nike, Gray's still camping on that left side. So
throwing out these fizzy bombs, just trying to
there he is. But as a support player with this weapon, you really need to play around your teammates. So I don't think he can sustain it for any longer.
Gray
jumped out, but
Gray goes down in the center, and Perigang suddenly on the board, pushing to get some points going.
Alliance Rogue has 3 specials, so they can have a good defense here. They feel a bomb coming in by Urzer, playing the Kansas special here. But they're not finding any picks as of yet with it. Now the Stingray comes in, now the picks also flow in, so that should be a decent roll. But Finland, or Nordics, they got the first checkpoint, so they don't go away empty-handed.
Yeah, good start from them just to get that done. It's important to get those things down. Kaldemar goes down in the center. Soren just trying to control that space for his team as they're pushing back onto the tower. You can see on the far side, Sendo having a 1v1 with Kyver, wins that one out. Gets taken down
there's
afterwards.
Still so much map control. Like, look at that blue turret all around the map. So it's really hard for Perigang to push that. Kaldemar trying with the flank from the high ground here. Doesn't really successfully find it because Gray can just stay on the tower, gets a shield out and just push the tower even further. Can they get to the next circle? And they can.
They're getting past it. They're going to be pushing for the finish.
This is getting close, but yeah, they found 3 splats, so they should stabilize here. But that's even a better lead for France right now.
2 minutes left on the board. You can see how many resources we've got on the side of Perigang. 4 specials available now.
And they find Urza without even using one of them.
A big power play going to be coming out very, very shortly. 1 player down on the side of Alliance Rogue.
They don't know keywords on the bridge though. Like, he can just drop on the tower at each time.
Yeah, Kaldemar pushing back with that baller. Does look at having a 1v1 there. Does go down eventually to Gray with that. Kenta undercover.
Yeah, the defense by France looks really clean right now. That's exactly what they need to tie things up here.
Okay, Sendo pushing back there. Tries to get a shot onto Urza. Gets that one. Can he get 2? Gets taken down.
I didn't see that since, he used step jump. You can't see that even. You gotta get pretty close in order to see that. But yeah, that's exactly what France wants. They just want to trade those splats, which means they're gonna stay into control, and they want to force Perigang to invest resources, specials, to regain mids, so they don't have them ready once they actually push.
Kaldemar on the far side. You can see the duo there of Nike and Sendo
pushing
pushing forward.
Kyver. That's exactly what France wants.
Yeah.
And he's getting called out. 2v1 right now. Gray's just, that's exactly how he played, and that's amazing defensive play by France right now.
Yeah, Nike now just gets 1 there with the Explosher. Can he get a second one?
But they're already 2 down again. I mean, super jumps coming in. They're kind of holding the bridge. It's exactly what they need to, but they need to get rid of Kiver as well. And he just finds the splats in all the situations. You can't find another one.
Wow, there we go. Using the baller. That was so close to get 3 again, but there is.
But yeah, that's 3 down again. It's only 30 seconds left on the timer, so it's getting rough for Perigang. They're also having, the Stingray ready the whole time, basically, for France. So if the Nordics start a push here, they still need to get rid of the Stingray first, and the Stingray can just shut down pushes on its own. So this is looking pretty rough. They need to find the splats here to get something going. They're investing 2 ballers into that, finding no splats yet. Plantro goes down. They are on the tower, but Kiver already pushing them. They're in good positions. The Stingray could go out. No.
As the timer
goes down.
As we hit overtime, however, all it needs is for Alliance Rogue to grab the tower, and they do.
What a response after that first match.
Equalized here. 1-1 between the Nordic and French team.
That's exactly what we want to see.
So we're going to be getting at least a game 4.
I mean, that map looked pretty dominant for France, to be honest.
It was very, very strong.
But
they were consistently controlling the space all the time, and you know, they were having these immediate. They were making these set plays that were kind of based around like individual players getting in and pressurizing, and then just
especially Kiva, you got like 2 triples or so, maybe more. We didn't see it on stream, maybe, but. There were things like that. Yeah,
they were consistently trying to find a point where, like, well, if one player is, you know, in a position to devastate the opponent, what can we do rather than like to try and get in there and also deal damage? How can we support that success from them? And I think, you know, staying back or rather supporting someone in being aggressive in that vein and then helping them succeed like that is better than trying to like dogpile on someone and trying to get these splats in that way. And Kiva was supported so well and managed to get
there were so many
work.
forced 2v1 situations. Cray was assisting with the umbrella, just distracting, and they're buying time for Kiva to get this splat. Amazingly played. That's exactly what we want to see.
Exactly, and that's the kind of that's their team cohesion, and that's their synergy, their ability to go like, right, I need some help. Can just come over here, support me in this vein, then we'll push forward.
At this level, everyone is just so good at the game that if you're winning 1v1, like you can't do that consistently because your opponent is just so good. You really need to force 2v1 situations, just pushing together with specials the whole team, because otherwise you will just trade back and forth with goals, like in the first game, which we saw. And also at this level, like Finland pretty much dominated the first game, while France did with the second one. Yeah. Even though the matches are not close in that, it just shows that they are so good at what they're doing. Like if they're if they can play what they planned on, it's getting pretty rough for the opponent. Yeah. So we are 1v1 here, even though both teams dominated each other once. So.
It was kind of interesting as well how you were saying that first game you were thinking that was going to be something that was in favor of Alliance Rogue, and then that was actually the game they lost, and the second game is the one that they do take over. So Splat Zones Moray Towers is going to be our next map and mode here. So again, those 2 separate zones that you need to capture, and then that time just ticks down relentlessly, ever marching onward with this very large, very vertical map. Just going to get some things sorted. But this is what obviously one part of what our teams are playing for. The Splatoon 2 European Championship trophy and those 4 beautiful golden Pro controllers. Looking very good there, and they're also embossed on the top with the emblem of the championships as well. Seems Sendo currently he has his headset back on. I believe earlier he maybe had an audio issue, but it seems to be okay now. Probably going to be jumping into game ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, Moray Towers, that additional frontline pressure by Soren can come in handy on this map. This is, I mean, he can just safely stay on snipe, just contesting everything with his long range, with his burst bomb, and even with the Stingray he has every now and then.
Yeah, so and we're saying that Empire Gang don't have a dedicated backliner as well. Yeah. So how looking at this particular map, how is that going to play into their hands? Obviously, maybe one of their players is going to go to like flex backline.
I don't think so. Like they showed that they can win on bigger maps where backlines are kind of favored, even without a backline. So they should just, I think they gonna stick to what they're used to. I mean, all of them, all of the players on Empire, they're like the best of the best when it comes to what they play weapon-wise. Yeah. So just flexing off of them might not be the best idea for them.
I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like, would you go for, something towards a bit more of an established meta, quote unquote, or do you want to go something that's comfortable? Because sometimes, the comfort picks are something that is really good for you. If you know that even if we may not have the best option in terms of like varied play in terms of Slayers, Flex, and backline, but if you have the ability, if you have the confidence in yourself and in your ability to play that element of the game, then it's that normally you get positive results from that more than not more than anything else, but you can get those positive results, or at least you can feel better about your play, and that can come out in the actual game itself. So. We're just going to be fixing something very shortly, and we'll get the game underway when we can. But if you're just joining us, welcome to the Splatoon 2 European Championships. Currently on the caster desk, you got myself, Bowie, and I'm joined by Wadsum, pro player himself, coming to bring his...
being in such a position right now, like I've been on the stage last year, and that was just an amazing response by France. Like if you're getting... Like they got rolled in the first match, and you really gotta come back to that, and it just shows that those players, they know exactly what they're doing. They're professionals. They stay calm. They collect themselves again, and they just go in and they're confident in what they do. So even though sometimes not everything will work out how you want it to be, they can just instantly come back from that, and that what really makes a great team.
Yeah, always nice to see players come back from defeats. The potato cat there on the side of Alliance Rogue. It's got a lot of fans in the audience, I'm sure. It was on the side of Emperi Gang yesterday during the groups, which is I think what some of the superstitious players be like, well, that's why they won because of the potato cat. We'll see how true that is. Currently 1-1 here.
Yeah, that's setting up the game.
Yeah, you can see them just readying up now. The ticks are coming through. Looks like we're good to go almost, and we will be jumping into this game very, very shortly. Do not go anywhere. Oh man, it's great. We got one. Set qualified finalist in Back Squids, and they're probably looking at this game going, "Hoo boy, we're going to have a humdinger of a match because both of these teams are looking spectacular." Yeah. Okay, we're going to be getting that going. Soren there just thinking about what his team needs to do to go into this third game.
Whoever wins the next match, it's going to be a brilliant situation for them to win the whole thing. So this is pretty important, a pretty important match.
This is an important one to win, of course, and we're jumping into it right now. So it's time for the third match. It's going to be Splat Zone's Amore Towers. It's 1-1 between the Emperi Gang and Alliance Rogue.
I'm really surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, we see Soren on the jet squad, so just a little bit of range advantage for France right here. Sendu, he's opting for the Kenza undercover, which Cray played last match, so they're gonna probably go within early armor, or Sendu already getting that special ready. So an armor, it just protects you from one incoming shot, and a lot of teams just opt for the early armor. Yeah, France as well, so both teams pop armor here to just win that first engagement, which France convincingly won the last match. That's the first splat here.
Gets that splat and takes over both of the zones very, very quickly. They have immediate control, and they will be pushing that further forward.
But they haven't pushed up much yet, so they can easily contest the zone if they are just on snipe. But now the really, Nike's in a bad spot. Oh, he gets it midair.
The AoE was wide enough to get to that height and stop the splashdown. Urza with a win.
That's exactly what they need. Like a pick like that will stall just so long because Emperi again will effectively wait for Nike to rejoin, and that's like 20 points on the board just by one splat.
Yeah.
And already, again, one down on side of Emperi Gang. And Urza already also pushing up to snipe. They need to invest specials. He might go down here.
No, got behind the wall just at the last moment.
And it's this is getting scary. It's only 25 points. This could be a quick KO here. Blonto, Kalima pushing down here. Kalima a bit too early, getting taken down. It's only Blonto on snipe right now. They find the kill. That's good. That's good. They need to focus on one zone to contest it here. Otherwise, this will be over quickly. And France is putting everything in.
This is so strong right now from Alliance Rogue. Absolutely brilliant work on that first play and keeping that point is so
need
strong.
To find the splats or the cap. Can they find the splats here? The cap.
Oh, it's so hard.
Super close. One down on side of Emperi Gang. They find the cap. That's super. They give so much security back to Emperi Gang. They need just to recollect now. Just get the splats, get that mid control to
Alliance Rogue did a great job of just pressing that advantage and never holding back and fighting so long to keep that lead alive. 6 points, and they've already fought back immediately, so quick. And actually looking at those bonus points, Emperi Gang are more than the base pointage away from winning.
Yeah, armor coming in now for Emperi Gang. They found Urza already, so that's their counter push right now. I mean, they're consistently losing the neutral as of right now, so they really need to get more splats, get full control as of right now. They find 2 picks finally, so this could be the start of something.
Yeah, they're going to start pushing forward now. They have the ability just to get aggressive and press into the opponent's side.
Look at snipe of Emperi. Kyver's still on there, so I mean, if you didn't clean everyone up from behind, Kyver gets the kill on side of on the side of the map of Emperi Gang. So if you don't clean up everyone, that's going to be super hard. Kyver with another split. Yeah, once they get control, they really need to get rid of every French player on the map, especially behind them. Otherwise, they would just push in from behind. As you saw, Kyver, brilliant play there.
And you can see there as well right now, they are pressing the advantage still. You can see them just like working away at those penalty points. And Nike and Soren Nike and Sender on the far side, unable to get in anywhere. Kaldemar into the center now. Can they get this push back they need? They stopped the timer for a little bit at least, but once again, the French team are in control. Alliance Rogue just looking to see if they can finish off this game and give themselves the 2-1 advantage in this semi-final.
But they
Again,
didn't get anything out of the
3 splats down. It's so strong right now for Alliance Rogue. At this point, can Emperigang get back to the center, or is this going to be all but over?
I mean, it's only Kalima right now, so he really needs to focus one zone. They need to go no, like look at the
this
penalty.
is it. They have to stop now.
They
It's
need
over.
to get to the zone. They can easily lock them out. That should be the KO.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Alliance Rogue did never relent at all in that match.
They just turned it like that. Like 2 matches, suddenly they are up 2-1, and they are looking to close this out in the next one.
Sendo not happy with the 2-1 deficit right now. The French happy with their performance. They are 2-1 up, and they're going to be going on to Rainmaker Blackbelly Skate Park for the next one, which is a very fast-paced, and we used the word a lot yesterday, so apologies if I use it again and get bored of this word, but very, very volatile mode, just because it's so back and forth, and it can just change on a dime.
Yeah.
It's just so quick to be like, well, I have 0 points, now I have 95. Have fun. And it's like, great. What do you do with that? And there's so much pressure involved in just how, because it can turn so quickly. And, you're having to always fight for every single moment. And it's, with the strength that we've been seeing on the aggressive side of Alliance Rogue,
if
that's going to play in their
getting
favor.
those triples, that's an amazing opening for Rainmaker. And you just need to win like one team fight to get an amazing lead on this mode. But on the other side, Emperigang, they also have so many great players, especially we talk about Nike, Plontro, who are capable at like turning a game at every point with getting just enough splats. So especially Rainmaker, you call it pretty swing heavy, pretty easy to get back a lead since it's so fast-paced.
So looking at it, it looks like our teams are going to be jumping right into this next one. We saw them in that map getting ready. It is going to be our first game 4, or our first, game 3 as well, I think as well. Our first hotly contested match we have. Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park will be our next one, and that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, and all the momentum as of right now on side of France, obviously, but I mean, we saw how France responded after the first match, and I think Emperigang is also capable of doing so as well.
Yeah, I don't think that the Nordic the Nordic team are a team to really let this go.
Yeah.
They're gonna fight hard and fast for this one. They've got a strong team in Alliance Rogue to go up against, but if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be them, our dark horse of this tournament. Up against, potentially we've named them as like one of the only teams, or one of the teams to really challenge and put the fear into back squids. But the timer is counting down, and we're going to be jumping into our 4th game. If you are a fan of Alliance Rogue, make your noise now, because they are 2-1 up, and they have got 1 game away from that grand finals. They do, however, have Emperigang waiting to bring it to a game 5. Can we see that 2-2? We're going into game 4.
5, that's what we want to see here. Yeah, we're seeing the Kenza Pro again. Like, Booyah Bomb has been rising the meta as of lately tremendously. But just looking at Emperi teams, team comp, they're really short range as of right now. So. But I mean, we talked about this map, especially in mid, that those short-range weapons, they can really excel here. So it really comes down to who gets the first specials here and the first picks, respectively.
Yeah, you can see the Rainmaker waiting. The shield has been popped and just waiting for something to happen.
First armor already. Booyah Bomb coming in as well, but no picks as of yet. Kala pushing in.
There's one. Urtza gets a splat onto Kaldemar, looking for a second one. That does get there down. Nike goes down.
If they can get Sendo, he needs to jump out. Like, he can't contest as he...
Sendo goes down.
Plontro got to kill the spell on the Rainmaker, effectively stalling. He gets another one. Can he escape?
Plontro did a really good job.
Yeah,
really good job.
That could have been like a lead 220 or something like that if he didn't get that pick on the Rainmaker.
Yeah, well done from Plontro there, just to kind of break through the lines and pressurize the opponent. Gray grabs the Rainmaker and will start making their way forward. You've got the supportive Stingray coming out from the back line of...
Also the counter on side of Emperigang. They're holding their ground as of right now. Plontro kind of flanked the Rainmaker now. Yeah, they get the spat on Rainmaker. Only Soren alive on side of France. So he really needs to back up, just save some space.
You can see them going to
go
immediately get some points. Immediately getting their lead. They're almost, there we go, push past, and they've got a line, if they can see it. Sendo is by with Plontro to support.
Yeah, Plontro almost has his ball already. You can make something work here, but yeah, Kaldemar already goes down, unfortunately. So yeah, that pushes, almost over. Plontro can get back though. He needs to stay alive here. Like, getting wiped is not what you're looking for here.
It's a strongish push though. It's a 20-point lead for them as Plontro unleashes the baller and is being pressurized all around by Urza. Kaldemar on the far side, Kiva going in, maybe trying to get that splat too.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of cover by the Booyah Bomb, by the Stingray, but that's a lead. I mean, that's a decent lead, but yeah, the armor on side of Emperor Gang, they're gonna push out here.
Yeah. And Plontro gets another splat there. There's one down with a couple who are trying to respawn.
Kiva here, they spot him, but can they get a pick? Yeah,
they do.
Amazingly done. Like, the Slosher just sloshing over all the obstacles there.
This is where Sendo's going to have to move fast and very, very aggressively. Nike does go down though, however, so he needs to be careful.
Great though.
Sendo gets to the pick with the Rainmaker, a powerful weapon, we should remind you.
Yeah.
Just makes you slower. Okay, so they're looking for that for that lead to come through.
Some specials to gain some ground here. The Booyah Bomb is coming in. It's gonna push it back. Rainmaker, the Stingray as well. So the Rainmaker, yeah, it goes down here. And Nike is kind of in a bad spot as well. So yeah, that's only Kaldemar alive. Somewhere in mid. Yeah, there he is. He really needs to stay alive here. Maybe get the pick on Kiva if you push him too far. But Kiva getting assisted by the armor, can't quite find the pick. Use the baller immediately to just keep up the pressure here.
He's just rolling around as being a nuisance for Kaldemar, so he couldn't be aggressive at that point and mount a solid defense. As you see, Gray on the far side using that Rainmaker. He does get taken down though.
I mean, as France, you can't really feel safe with a lead like that. They really need to push as well. They can't just stay back and just, yeah.
2 splats down now for Alliance Rogue. And
they also have a baller and a splashdown already, so they can make something work here and just gets that needed space. But Nike already goes down, so Plontro finds a pick on his own, so effectively 3-3. But yeah, they still have the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker
does get a splat there as well onto Gray though, so it again is back and forth. It's 2 down, however, for Emperi Gang. We've got 1 minute and 17 left on the clock.
That's super close as of right now. Like this like only 2 good picks and they get the lead easily. That's not far. That's like only 5 meters or so, which they have to push the Rainmaker. Pick it up again.
Yeah, Plontro tries to grab it before it resets. They want to have that aggression. Nike and Kaldemar and Sando all on the right-hand side. Plontro behind them, trying to push forward as Gray takes down 1 member of the Emperi Gang. 2 members.
Still don't have any specials to push through that space, and they really needed the ball by Plontro here. And he picked up the Rainmaker, so he can't use the special. So yeah, time is ticking against him. Another pick coming in by Urza. I mean, at this point, you can even win with such a lead. So.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They're putting in on a really hard spot to get, so this is going to be interesting how Emperi Gang going to respond to that. Kaldemar is already back. Can he get the pick on Urza? He can't. Okay, Plontro going to have his baller, so this might be... He could push up there, but Gray is in such a good defensive spot. Maybe they can get it over time, just with the lead of 51.
Currently, you can see Gray there holding on to that Rainmaker, not going down! And that was huge, because Senna was trying to get that stop. This is important for him to hold on to this Rainmaker. They can't take him down. Gray still has it. 8 seconds there.
They can get a good lead here. He should just go back.
They're going to run away. 2-1. Alliance Rogue 3-1 will win that game. Alliance Rogue, Soren's on his feet. A very good defense there.
Yeah, winning with a lead of 51 on such a small map. It just shows you like how good the defensive play by France was in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Alliance Rogue did a very, very, very good job, and the crowd is excited for them.
And they get that rematch against Backswitz. They can get revenge for last year. Yeah. And possibly they could even dethrone them from the throne of being European Championship.
Absolutely. It was a great, great match. And it was a 3-1 in the end to Alliance Rogue. And Emperi Gang put up a great start to that campaign, but Alliance Rogue made all the changes they needed to and pushed their advantage all the way through to a 3-1 victory.
Yeah, that was a reverse sweep, basically.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And we do have, Alliance Rogue will be joining the German team Backsquid, as you mentioned, in that grand finals for that run back. We do then see Emperi Gang finish in 3rd place alongside Polarized. So we have it started with 12. Well, it started with hundreds of teams, but we came into the weekend with just 12, and now
we are here. Yeah,
just two remaining. That's the beauty of competitions. There can only ever be one at the end. We have one of 2 teams will be taking it home, and Alliance Rogue, the French team, home soil, are one of those 2.
They can just take that momentum and bring it to grand finals. I'm excited for such a good match.
It's going to be a very, very exciting one indeed. I have got word that Tech Girl on the main stage is ready for an interview. So Tech Girl, I'll throw it over to you to have a chat with our winners.
I am here with our winners on the main stage. Alliance Rogue are going through to the finals. We cheated a little bit there because Soren, who's standing next to me, just before we started, he said, I need a little bit of time to get my breath back. So I thought I'd just get the crowd to shout for a bit. Are you ready now? You got your breath back. Let's chat a little bit about that last game. Right on the edge there. What was the game plan? Because it was just so close.
We had the perfect route because we took the lead on the right side. So we knew this route was better to get the lead. And after that, we played pretty much neutral for the entire game. We had to wait for them to make a push and try to take the lead. And we had to keep the mid control for the longest time. We stopped all of their pushes during this time, and after we saw there was 40 seconds remaining, I gave the call out, we need to block the Rainmaker on the top left to stall for the last 40 seconds, because we had the special ready to defend it correctly no matter what happened after these 40 seconds. And even then, Gray got like a triple with the Rainmaker, which is actually insane, and that's how he won.
Let's talk a little bit about the finals now, because you are facing off against Backsquids, last year's European champions, and also the team that knocked you out in the semi-finals last year. Is this the grudge match, the revenge match, if you like?
Yeah, there's definitely has been some rivalry with these guys, and I think the most important to know is that last year it was the best of three. Maps were bad, and this time it's our time to win.
Do you have a message for? You are the French team. You're on home soil. Do you have a message for your fans who've come out here to watch?
Merci à tous ceux qui nous supportent et on va faire de notre mieux pour prendre notre revanche aujourd'hui.
Your finalists for the Splatoon 2 European Championships, it is Alliance Rogue, and they're going to be facing off against reigning champs Backsquids. We're going to take a quick run back to spawn, and when we return, the finals kick off. This is it. It is the Splatoon 2 European Championships, and we are about to witness our grand final. The crowd here is a little bit dead. Are you guys just a little bit freaked out after that last game? I just said we're about to witness our grand final. I know you guys, you were just trolling me. It's okay. My name is Tekel, and I'm going to be keeping you company throughout the final, along with our incredible shark casting duo, who I'll introduce you to in a little bit. Let's jump right back, though, and chat about how we got to this point. 12 of Europe's best Splatoon 2 teams got together. They qualified in their respective regions, and they made their way to Paris, France yesterday for the group stages. We split them into 4 groups. The winner of each group was then in our semi-finals, which you've just witnessed. There were 2 winners, and they're going to face off in the final. It is Back Squids from Germany and Alliance Rogue from France. This is the grudge match, because let me explain. Back Squids were last year's European champions, but they happened to knock out Alliance Rogue in the semi-finals. So it's the revenge match now. We heard Captain Soren from the French team mention earlier that this is it. They are coming out and they want to fight. They're going to be on their maps. They can play the various modes. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. They are ready for this best of 7 matchup. So the question now, of course, is, are you ready to watch these 2 teams face off? I love that. Someone from the audience just very calmly says, of course we are ready. So let me introduce your reigning champions, the Goliaths that need to be knocked down if you want to pick up this incredible trophy and the gold controllers standing next to me. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Back Squids. I mentioned those gold controllers that are up for grabs. I mentioned the trophy, the winner's jerseys. But what really is up for grabs is the chance to call yourselves the Splatoon 2 European champions. It's the chance to exact revenge on the team that knocked you out in the semi-finals. And it is the chance to win here on home soil. Let's introduce your challengers, the French team. This is Alliance Rogue. Joining me here to help walk you through all the action and all the splattering you're about to see is our Splat by Splat caster, Bowie. And he is joined by Dragonuto, who found himself in the semi-finals last year. He is a professional Splatoon 2 player. He's going to be able to deep dive into those analytics. Gents, let's have a quick chat here about this best of 7 format. We heard Captain Soren say earlier that this suits them because of the maps and the modes that are going to be on play. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect.
Ooh, I mean, it's a best of 7. It's a very, very long series, and I'm really excited to see that because not often you see a best of 7 coming out from a lot of competitive games. So it's going to be long. It's going to be great. So starting off, we've got Rainmaker on Schellendorf Institute, which I've seen a lot of crazy stuff from. I mean, in the UK alone, there's been some amazing plays from that. So what about Schellendorf Institute and Rainmaker combination makes it so good?
Well, I have to say, Schellendorf Institute is an incredible map. It has 2 levels to it. So it has a glass pane on top, which you're going to be walking across. You can't paint the ground. And you're going to have the bottom, which is sort of where the zone will be, where the objective will be. And you've got to push your way through there. And on Rainmaker, there's so many paths that you can take. Like you can go above, you can go down, anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, fair enough. It sounds about right. Just having our friend behind us here enjoying himself. Yeah, it's one of those ones, and there's loads of little just nooks and crannies you can get into and just get a big advantage coming out. Our second game is going to be Potato Cat getting a lot of love there. Tower Control in Kelp Dome. So one I honestly haven't seen as much of over the course of the European Championship. So an interesting map and mode to get in combination.
So it recently got a couple changes in one of the recent patches where it sort of opened up a little bit. But it's kind of a map that's segmented a lot. There's a lot of different dueling areas. And you'll see that a lot when we go into the match on our second game. That the teams are going to be dueling 1v1s, 2v2s in these incredibly close and strong matches. And obviously with these 2 teams being as strong as they are, we're going to see amazing plays. We're going to see brilliant stuff coming out, and especially on tower control, it's a really strong mode, and the changes helped it a lot.
I mean, looking over it as well, we're going to be getting, I mean, third game is Wahoo World Clan Blitz, an interesting combination here. But I mean, just to kind of think about, this whole idea of this long series. If you win the first 3 games, like when you think about, a best of 3, if you lose the first one, you only have to win 2 games to go through. If it's a best of 5 and you go 2-0 down, a reverse sweep is a hard thing to get through. If you're facing a 3-0 deficit and you have to do the reverse sweep in a best of 7, how much effort is that going to take?
Well, first you come out and you're thinking to yourself, I've lost 3 games. This is scary. I don't know what I'm going to do here. And you got to bring yourself together, and you have to just go absolutely quackers. You got to really push into it and do your best to sort of bring through, because you've got to win 4 consecutive games without dropping a single one, and that's really tough, especially in a best of 7. And the best of 7 is just good for that, It brings those.
I think as well. I mean, if you're going to have 2 teams going into a best of 7, I think Back Squids and Alliance Rogue are 2 that really fit the bill as well. So looking forward to seeing these 2 go hammer and tongs in this grand final. It's I mean, okay, so let's actually have a look at this. Because it's going to be best of 7. We're going to get 4 games minimum. So we're going to play in every single mode. So we're going to have that Clan Blitz Wahoo World, then Splat Zones on the Manta Maria, which we've seen earlier in the tournament in a tower control version. So Splat Zones, let's just talk a little bit about that. Going into a map we've seen before, but a very different playstyle.
So obviously Splat Zones being the mode that it is, you have to ink the zone and get a counter down to 0, and those knockouts are quite common in this mode. On Manta Maria, obviously it's a very long map. And I was talking about this yesterday. You need a Stingray special, really. If you're going to be pushing that much, you want to have that Stingray special. And Manta Maria's zones are split in 2. So you're going to have them on either side of the central pole. And the grating, you're really going to want to control it. It sort of reminds me of the Reef in that way. You want to be controlling that central point, regardless of your team's place. Absolutely.
Obviously, we do have here. We were mentioning earlier the winners' jerseys. We were asked to have just a little showcase of these bad boys, if we may. Over here, but yeah, the jerseys are looking pretty nice. Champions 2018, 2019, good color scheme as well happening there. So looking good. If someone can bag one of these, it's not a bad thing to go along with the fantastic controllers as well. So
very fancy looking jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see who's going to be wearing those ones and sporting them in future tournaments as well. But yeah, lots of water going on. Good. Drink lots of water, friends. Drink lots of water. Always a good thing to do when you're in these high competitive situations. You can see the players there just getting ready. Backspeed again from Germany. We have obviously got to remind you that when it comes to European Championships and tournaments, we do have a whole host of great players from all different countries, and it's always nice to to really celebrate the differences in those countries and cultures, and bringing it all together for a wonderful celebration.
That's the thing about the European Championship. You bring all those teams together, and they're all friends. They've met each other online. They've played together. Obviously, on these teams specifically, they have played together. They have international teams together, and they're really battling it out here just for their country's sake. And it's nice to see them all come together. And you meet them outside of this, and they're lovely people, and they all talk to each other. And there's rivalry, there's competition, but there's also friendship.
Yeah.
So Splatoon, bringing people together.
Heart emoji. So let's have a look at these teams as well. Let's actually have a look at the players. Who are we going to be looking at really in some great detail? So on one side we have obviously on Backspeed we've got Echo, Margin, Kaito, and Ben. Versus Sorin, Gray, Urza, and Kiva. I think it's Kiva, but
Kiva, yes.
Yeah, I've been saying Kiva. Apologies. But yeah, so looking at those 2 teams, are we going to see some real head-to-head between individual players, or are we going to be seeing just this overall team?
I think we're going to see a lot of skirmishes between Kiva and Kaito. Really, to be honest, very strong frontline players. And I'm looking out for Majin in the game himself. He's a rapid player. He'll play Rapid Blaster. He'll play Standard Blaster, whatever. Ben also a blaster player, so they're going to probably be running that double blaster composition, which is very aggressive. We'll most likely be seeing that very soon in the first game.
Indeed. We're going to be jumping into that first game now. This is it, ladies and gents, your grand finals of the European Championships. Alliance Rogue from France versus Backsquid from Germany. Shoot.
Seeing that custom jet squelch coming out from Sorin, one of my favorite backlines here. We're going to be seeing them. They're just going to be coming into the middle here, using that glass and that bottom panel. Both of the heights are very important to have control of if you want to be making a push. Because if you have somebody on the top glass and somebody on the and you're trying to push through the bottom, they could jump on top of you, and that could be it for your push.
Okay, yep. Kiva on this far side. trying to maybe get a way around onto Ben. Goes for the higher point if possible. You got Echo on the top side. Inkstorm is unleashed though from Kiva. And he's pushing that forward. Ben trying to get a splat if he can. Goes for a 2v1 and goes down to Kiva.
2 down now on the side of Back Squids, but they've still picked up the Rainmaker, maybe in an effort to stop the push from Alliance Rogue. Kiva kind of sharking around here. Echo controlling that glass now, has all of the space to himself. Gray picking up the Rainmaker, starting a push.
Yep, you can see Kiva taking down
3
Echo
down
once again.
on the side of Back Squids.
Now this is the thing, when it comes to Rainmaker and you have the ability to push so hard when you've got a clear space like this. Look at the pointage coming through. There is the point. Alliance Rogue on the board. Welcome to Grand Finals.
Very quick, very far out of the gate. Alliance Rogue just hitting back as fast as they can.
Okay, looking like our players there just communicating between each other. Seemed like something might have been amiss in that first section. Hello, mate. You all right? He's yeah. He said that he said that that match was quackers, is what he said.
Well, is that what he said?
Yeah, absolutely what he said.
The
The EGX Duck never fails to make his way to more events. So we'll just get confirmation on what happened in that game and what's going to be going on regarding that. Duck.
See, that's the fight right now. It's the mascots.
I must say, we should actually notice that Nogami-san has signed the EGX Duck when he met him earlier on in the tournament. So thank you very much, Nogami-san. Arigatou gozaimasu.
We have his blessing.
Yeah, we do indeed. He is VIP, I think, yeah.
But we also have another idol as well with us on the French team, Potato Cat.
Ah, Potato Cat,
Very
yeah,
well
we do
known,
have
idol there from the French side, bringing
absolutely amazing. So that was game one. As I say, I'm going to get confirmation if I can as soon as possible about what happened there, because apparently there was some disagreement from the German side in terms of something that may have gone wrong. So we'll get, as I said, we'll keep you updated on what's happening there as soon as possible. If I can. So far though, we did see some great work coming out from Alliance Rogue. You know, really pushing that advantage as soon as they got it, and not really letting any room for well, there was no room to breathe for Back Squids in that first game.
Yeah, exactly. Alliance Rogue bringing it out very fast to crush Back Squids. Even if there was an issue in the game, it kind of shows really good. We are going to be going back to the map, it seems. So the problem did stop the match from progressing. We will be fighting again.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to be getting it seems that we're going to be getting a replay of that first game just to make sure that everything's all right. Sorting everything out there with our teams just to make sure that everything is agreed.
All still looking confident as ever, coming into this grand final set. Still a best of 7, still lots of matches to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about it now, the stamina that's going to come into play here when these guys are going to be fighting, they're going to have to go through maybe potentially 7 whole matches, 5 minutes long. That's going to be really draining on them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you come to long... Okay, seems like everything's sorted and our players are just going to confirm everything. Jumping into this first game again. So we are going to get a replay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Those golden pro controllers there will be one of many prizes for our champions here, who will be crowned. So let's rewind ourselves a little bit and... Yeah, 5 seconds, we're jumping into this first game of the European Championships Grand Finals between Alliance Rogue and Back Squid from France and Germany, respectively. Let's make some noise for our Grand Finals. Okay.
This time round, perceivably running the exact same comps as before.
Yeah, hopefully that was a part of the reset, was that they do stick to the same lineup as well. Okay.
Back Squid's winning the pop, but Alliance Rogue in a very strong position. Even with Soren being down, there seems to still be an issue.
Yeah, everyone's just agreeing to stay still here, just to confirm.
Playing a game of statues here.
Yeah, they're just going to let that run through just to get out of the game. Something seems to be up for one of the teams, so we'll just get that confirmed and clarified ASAP. The audience loving that. Whey, well done.
We're a bit unfortunate that we're having these technical issues.
Okay, we are just going to quickly do another reset here. We'll get that fixed as soon as possible. Okay, these things happen. It's a live event, and that's the beauty of live events. After 10 years in the theatre, we'll do it live is always always the best thing. Love it.
please, Bowie. You're showing your age.
I am showing my age. God. Yeah, I mean, I think 10 years ago was how old you are now.
Oh, man.
I actually think that's true. I'm not going to go into that one, but all you need to know is that I'm an old man. I'm an old man. And I'm not that old.
Yeah,
Not
but
that
you
old.
still got it. You still got the casting game.
Oh, thanks, man. Cheers. I never really needed that one. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You know, yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just like, I need some sleep. I need a nap. No. But mainly because there's this. I feel like just throwing the EGX duck into the crowd now and just. But then it might get lost and it will never return to the ducklings. Rip the ducklings. no longer around. Maybe. Where are the ducklings? Where are they?
There are some of them down there.
They're down there somewhere.
We recognize them by their duck chant. They
Oh
just-
yeah, and they're, lovingly wearing their jerseys from the UK Championships. Right. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that championships. We're here at the European Championships. Hopefully we'll hopefully have that sorted very, very shortly, and we'll get back into the first game. Schellendorf has been. We've been eagerly anticipating a game of a full-blown Splatoon on Schellendorf Institute with Rainmaker. So we'll see just when we can get that underway. He knows that the camera's on him. Maybe he's looking over at that trophy, going, "It's gonna be mine. I'm having that one."
He knows what he wants. He's looking. He's got his eyes on it. Schellendorf Rainmaker actually been quite a controversial one throughout all the championships at the moment. There have been a lot of upsets on that map, so potentially we could be seeing an upset here with the reigning champions being taken out by Alliance Rogue.
I mean, it's game one of a potential 7, so a long series could be the truth of the matter here, and we'll just see who has the stamina, who has the ability to go the distance, and just keep trying new things. Because when it comes to a series like this, whenever we're looking at early parts of tournaments, we're looking at best of 3s. Best of 5 is that kind of segment that players and teams really want to get to, because that's where the depth of adaptation and these long drawn out matches and strategies are going to be coming into play. So to add another layer to that is going to be how many adaptations can you make, how many changes can you add to an overall matchup before your opponents understand it, and how many times can you just pull the rug from under them and go, well, actually we've got another style to bring to the game, another way to confound you.
Exactly. When you're playing for that long, you're going to learn stuff about the team you're playing against, and whilst these teams might not have the most experience against each other, they're definitely going to learn things over the course of this best of 7 match, and obviously they're going to be playing every single mode. So we're going to be seeing all of this coming together in the grand finals.
Yeah, which is going to start for the first time very, very shortly. Our players jumping into it there. Schellendorf Institute, Rainmaker, your game 1 of grand finals of the European Championship for Splatoon 2.
Feels like we're stuck in a time loop, but here we go again.
Groundhog Day. Okay, there we go. So players starting out, making their way towards this central point. Seems like so far so good. And our players will be vying for that pop. The shield goes over to Alliance Rogue. Echo on the top side, just trying to grab a little bit of control if he can. So far, so good. No one being taken down. Inkstorm out over the top side.
Alliance Rogue really trying to control that top there with Soren. However, they are pushing around the bottom. They've already taken out one. They're just going past. They're kind of rooting past. Gray making his way to the podium. Those points ticking down. A push to 14 in the first 30
that was a strong one as well. Kaiva again
and
in there.
Picking it up.
Booyah bomb down, and again Urza goes over the top, and another knockout once again.
All that fuss for nothing as Alliance Rogue take the first game in stylistic fashion.
Yeah, really, really good start from that one. Seems like really, really good first game there from Alliance Rogue once again. It seems, but maybe they're not. The excitement maybe a little bit drawn out from a couple of resets there.
However, still a very strong start.
No, we have some of the staff popping to the stage once more just to confirm. We'll get that confirmation to you ASAP. No, it seems like maybe that issue was still there. Okay, what we're going to do then very, very quickly is just to confirm that everything's all right. We're going to take a very, very short break, and we'll be back momentarily just to get everything working and solid. So be back in 5 for the start of this grand final. We'll make sure that we have everything sorted for you then. So don't go anywhere. Apologies for this short delay. We're doing our best to get this to you as soon as possible, so don't go anywhere. Cheers for your patience, and we'll see you in 5. Kids and squids, welcome back to the European Championships 2018 and 19 for Splatoon 2. It has been an exciting day, and we are just jumping back into the grand finals. To clarify everything that's been going on, we've just been fixing a few communications issues between the players. They're going into a test match now, or finishing our test match, just to make sure that they are able to communicate accurately with each other. And in terms of how the grand finals is currently standing, referees and players have agreed to make the first game count. So it's currently Alliance Rogue 1 and Back Squids 0 after everything that happened in game 1. So that has been ruled, and that's the way it's currently looking right now. So Alliance Rogue with 3 more matches to get that final victory, but we've got a lot of matches left to play, and still we've got 6 maps left.
6
kind of crazy.
6 maps left, and all of them are of different modes. So we're going to be seeing every mode in the game currently, in the ranked rotation at least. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great.
We're going to be jumping over then to tower control on Kelp Dome. And you were saying there was a few changes here in this in this map that kind of like made it a little bit more interesting, I guess.
Yeah, they widened out the space in between the side segments of the map. They sort of edited the terrain a little bit, and it opens the map up quite a bit. I mean, it used to be so segmented, and there was so much focused on duels, and now it's kind of a little bit wider, but that's still a huge focus of the map, especially on tower control. So the tower will wind its way around the side of the map, and there's a lot of space to use specials like the Stingray and other really strong defensive specials to stop that tower push dead in its tracks.
I just noticed that the hat was here, wasn't it? Yeah, that duck hat. It's been getting everywhere, man. Okay, so yeah, it's looking to be quite an interesting map then. So looking at the way it was playing, it was quite a fast-paced game that was coming out from game 1. Alliance Rogue, regardless of everything, were coming out swinging and using that that speed and that pace that they have in their gameplay. How is that tower control going to maybe like shift that, and maybe what can Backsquids do in this second game to really kind of like utilize a slower pace match to their advantage in this second game?
Well, the thing is here on tower control, that tower is only going to move a set amount of speed, especially if you only got one person that is riding on top of it, and you've got to get past these checkpoints where you're going to be stopped no matter what. So consistent splash, basically, you need to be bringing out, and I don't think Backsquids is just going to let that happen.
Yeah, of course.
So Alliance Rogue are going to have to really pull something special out if they want to get a knockout like they did in the
Yeah,
first
I mean,
round.
they're not adverse to putting out, special play. They're a very, very, very good team, and our crikey, the English language, our reigning champions as well. So I remember this is a run back, essentially, or a rematch from last year's semi-final at the last year's European Championship. So Alliance Rogue are really eager to get this victory.
Yeah, Backsquids had to beat both the French teams to win last year's European Championship, Alliance Rogue obviously, and El Firmament in the finals, and they managed to do so quite handily. So hopefully Alliance Rogue will be bringing it out here to sort of give a harder fought battle, and well, so far we've seen that with the first round they took.
Well, we're going to be jumping into this second game now. It is going to be tower control in the Kelp Dome. This is game 2 of the grand finals. Currently Alliance Rogue are 1 up, and we'll see if Backsquids can make this second game 1 apiece in our grand finals here at the European Championships.
I'm assuming to see quite similar comps coming up from both teams here on this tower control map. Soren still repping the custom jet squelcher.
Okay, that
an interesting pick from Urza here, coming out with the standard pro. Usually people like to play the Kenta pro because of that Booyah bomb. Taken down quickly by Kaito.
Yeah, that was a very, very quick takedown indeed. Kiva also going down there as Backsquids now begin their assault onto the opponent's side of the map. Ben pushing so far forward, and Kaito with this explosion just shooting over the wall and creating pressure on the far side. Soren, you can see how far back he is having to be as they approach, well,
the next checkpoint. Well, they got past the first checkpoint, and obviously, like you were saying, Kaito with that sloshing machine.
Oh, wow, Echo getting a splat there!
Maybe picking up a second, no, but doesn't. But with the help of Kaito, manages to pick up another. Just Kiva left with his baller. Can't really do much. He gets popped. Takes out Echo.
Look at this movement, though. He is absolutely on fire. Moving so fast and around it. He gets another spot there on Kaito, too. Margin goes down, and look at that. 15 points on the board. What a defense.
Incredible defense coming out from Alliance Rogue. I think that came out of the back of Kiva, doing an incredible job to distract the team.
Look at Echo waiting there. Gets a shot onto Soren once again.
Gets on that tower to stop it from moving. Urza to quickly take him out, however, and get back on that tower to get it back to the middle. 3 down on the side of Backsquids currently. Alliance Rogue holding that mid area. Imagine kind of having to back off here.
Oh man, that's a big strong push, and Alliance Rogue fighting back so well. Echo's having to drop back a little bit here. You can see him just trying to maybe grab another pick if he can. Kaiba there waiting in that little ramp.
Echo here using his sight lines to put some pressure on the tower. Doesn't manage to pick anybody off, but he does give them a bit of a scare. Ben using the baller to distract their backliner. Not really getting much accomplished as the rest of Backsquids fall down.
Yeah, and you can see right now, you can see Gray pushing the tower so far. Echo utilizing the Stingray just to push them off the tower if possible, but Gray is back on, keeping himself safe. Margin and Echo looking to mount a defense here.
Backsquids 2 down here on the push, coming up to the checkpoint. Alliance Rogue are looking to take this. That's such an incredible first push from Backsquids. They get a triple. Soren bringing out the Stingray. They managed to get the lead.
And they're going to be pushing forward now. There is the ending. It's coming up. Can they keep it going? Alliance Rogue 2-0.
An incredible knockout from Alliance Rogue, bringing it all the way to the end there, and a 1 solid push. And like we were mentioning, that sustained push coming out with the aid of a Stingray from Soren. Really putting it down there for Backsquids.
Amazing, amazing work there. Backsquids opened up that match so wonderfully as well. They were just starting to flourish a little bit in that push, but then Kiva with that amazing defensive play, like single-handedly taking down one opponent, and then also being a distraction for the other two to allow his teammates to get in, get that defense strong, and then that slow push back. They get a complete knockout from that, just from that reverse counter all the way down.
Yeah, I see Soren then making a couple gestures at the camera, being quite pleased with himself. I would be too. That was an incredible comeback with a great teamwork. Kiva doing a great job there on the push from Backsquids to stop them from getting past that checkpoint by distracting Echo. And it's just, overall, this has just been a really good series so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking over to game 3 now, I mean, Clan Blitz over on Wahoo World. So, you know, again, another slow pace game, even slowing it even further. So we've gone from Rainmaker to tower control, now to Clan Blitz. So it's going to be, again, we're going to be seeing that build of pressure, you know, just like sitting there, just wailing away and just seeing how long the opponent can like just take all the hits until they just get overwhelmed.
Well, we talk about Clan Blitz, but let's just mention the map. Wahoo World, quite unique. It has a circular center and a spinning platform, and you've really got to duck underneath that middle part to get through to the other side. And there are clams that spawn everywhere under there.
Also, as well, noting that the basket is on a higher platform as well. So if you are making your way in, the throws are going to be a little bit harder to get from further away. You have to get really, really close in to get that distance. Yeah. So you really have to stretch how far you can pressure your opponent to do that. A common one,
you've got to launch yourself off of the snipe of the enemy team, and you just make that Hail Mary jump trying to get that clam in, and usually it comes out quite nicely. So we'll be seeing it in this game currently coming up. We'll see what Backswitch can bring out.
I mean, when we were watching Alliance Rogue as well versus Emperi Gang on that first map with Albacore Hotel, it was just such, this wonderful back and forth. But as soon as they got, Emperi Gang did win it, but like that first push coming out from Alliance Rogue was so strong, and they just have to keep that pressure going up. So we're going to be jumping into this third game very, very quickly. Alliance Rogue currently 2-0 up, so we're going to be jumping into game 3 now. It is going to be Clan Blitz on Wahoo World, so let's make some noise for our two teams as we go into the third game of Grand Finals.
So we're going to be seeing very different comps here. The Tenterbrella coming out from Grey, and the Custom Hydra, I believe, coming out from Echo, which is an interesting pick, especially with the length of this map. It's quite small, but we'll see how that plays into effect here. Both teams picking up clams, collecting them, just trying to get a nice little clam bank economy to get their, get flowing, into this game. It's looking like Backswitch are controlling the mid. Not really much going on yet. They're testing the waters. They don't want to fight too much. It's just it's all about that poking and seeing what other people can do. Soren using a Stingray, trying to put pressure on that Hydra.
You can see as well, just trying to just make sure they have the resources, picking up as many resources as possible. Currently, Grey has a power clam available. It does mean that he is visible to the opponent. We'll see if we can do that. Outcoming this onslaught from Echo does eventually take down Grey though. So good stuff from them. Does remove the power clam from contention.
Potentially a really smart play by Echo, realizing that the Tenterbrella was going to come out from Grey. So using that Hydra, which is a very large tank, a very strong, powerful...
They're getting a wonderful splat there onto Ben.
They're controlling the mid again. Backswitch have kind of just held it here. They haven't really gone for a push. They haven't got a power clam. They've kind of just kept off from getting it. Maybe to make sure the enemies, Alliance Rogue, don't know who has what. They do manage to make one, however, immediately throwing it away as the Stingray comes out from Soren.
Yeah, Soren obviously spacing back very nicely and using that Splatling just gained so much special charge as well, so he's going to be getting that a lot very, very quickly and be pressurizing a lot with the Stingray where possible. Echo on the side of Backsquid with that power clam available, and they do have another 12 clams if they can get a big play to get to that basket. But Kyber on the side, maybe trying to get a splat there, does eventually evade and get back from that forward position. Ben unleashing the baller, does take down Grey on the far side, but Urtha responds.
It's looking like Maj is going to create an opening for his team. They're coming in, they're jumping in. Echo has a ball. He's going to throw it.
That's going to land. It'll be first points on the board 57. For Backswig. 2 immediate power clams into 3 regular, and they've got big points on the board.
Unfortunately comes with a wipe, which isn't exactly what you want on Clan Blitz. However, an incredible lead coming out from the start of this game. We're going to see what goes down here. They have Alliance Rogue have their pity clam, and they also have a spare baller. They're going to jump in just to get it in.
Yep. Ooh! Urza misses the throw and gets taken down as well, so can't follow up.
Unfortunate choke there. Kiver on the offensive here, trying to pressure Ben. Ben can't really push against him until Magin comes along to give him some assistance. Potentially Kiver here being taken out. Does manage to get one, however.
Yeah, unfortunately, Margin wasn't able to get into position and support his teammate in time. And Kiver just utilizing that to get through and take that first splat for him. Grey goes down. Soren also having that power clam. They have 2 available on the board. If they can just keep that one alive, Urza going to go and grab that one, and we'll keep it in play, hopefully.
Soren having to back off. The clam economy of Alliance Rogue looked quite strong, but Backsquids have taken over now. They have their own power clam, and they're just prepped for a push really here. They just want to take a couple more picks, and then they can push in, basically free. Echo controlling the middle here. You can see he destroys that Tenterbrella very fast. Kaito getting a little bit of assistance there as Margin dodges around. Margin
was definitely in enemy territory. He aggresses back to his teammates and will keep himself safe for a little bit longer. Ben being pressured on the far side.
32 clams on the side of Backsquids. incredible amount of clowns there. That's enough to take
Ben going in with his baller. Teammates will be jumping in. They get the barrier down.
That's 2.
That's another, and then a third one as
15.
well. That is a huge play. 3 power clams going straight in.
Massive. Imagine on the flank, managed to get one more clam and just to push that down to 12.
Just keeping that time going, and Ben jumps in as well to maybe get some more. Margin, does he have him? He does not have a clam on him. There's 0 on the side of Back Squids. Huge play from them though. It's not over yet. 1 minute 15 left on the clock, and you can see there are 2 power clams, 3 power clams on the side of Alliance Rogue as they go all out with their push forward.
It's not enough to take the lead, but it's enough to really kick that down. If they get this 3rd one in, it's big. That's it. 40 points. They lost 3 of their teammates, but really whittling down that number, going to make it a lot easier for them to come back in next time.
Although that does mean that they are going to be getting their bonus points added on, or their penalty points rather, added on 30. They're going to need at least 2 power clams to start making some effort back into the main points. And at this point, it is very much Back Squid's game to lose. Currently with 40 seconds to go, and they have a large lead.
Alliance Rogue as well, not really having much of the clams as it can be seen. Back Squid's making the really smart play of making the power clams so that the team doesn't have access to those clams to create their own.
Cutter going down to Earth there on the far side. Echo having a little bit of trouble. Gray takes out Margin. And who's left alive? We've just got currently Ben on the far side trying to make his way into Urza.
Gray being taken down now. Unfortunate. They needed him for the push. The Booyah Bomb going in to add some extra pressure on. Kiva has the power clam, but there's nothing else that can be done here as he has to back out. 10 seconds left on the clock, and it's really looking like Back Squid's game.
Yeah, we've got 6 seconds remaining. 5 will be counting down, looking like it's going to be a game on the side of Back Squids. There are 2 power clams for Alliance Rogue. They have to hold on to these if they want to keep their dreams alive of Game 3 going in their favor.
20 seconds of overtime remaining. Gray really needs to get in. Kiva coming in with the baller.
Oh, there
the jumps are coming in.
They get both of them as well.
They miss one.
They miss one, they do indeed.
And they get wiped.
That is going to be it. The game is over for sure. Back Squid will be taking a game back in hand. 2-1. It will definitely be as the timer sets. The barrier is back up, and Game 3 goes to Back Squids. They are not done yet. Ooh, what a game.
Really showing that they're not just going to roll over and take this from Alliance Rogue. They know that they can bring this as well. So coming back in with an incredible clam blitz push, and just the economy, the use of their economy that entire time was incredible. They were constantly denying Alliance Rogue any form of clams or any form of push capability. Yeah. So really well done by them.
Yeah, and you're talking about their, their economy handling, how they just managed to build up so much, and how when they were doing that, they were keeping themselves, their defenses were so tight at that point as well, that when they were building up that economy, they were in a position of power to actually use it afterwards. Because the amount of times that we've seen players sometimes, build up this economy and then squander it because they're trying to push too hard, but they respected what Alliance Rogue were capable of, and then they managed to get those picks and slowly just pour away, find their time, and then they didn't miss a single throw. And unfortunately, we did see that on the side of Alliance Rogue. Yeah. They didn't get that second power clam in, and that could have been the difference. I mean, they did get wiped when they landed, but maybe being flustered by missing that throw could have been paramount to how they responded to the team fight afterwards.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I would have to say that Echo was a standout there for Back Squids, using that custom Hydra splatling to great effect, getting multiple splats, but also a lot of pressure on the Tenterbrella coming out from Gray, which was a really good move there. The custom Hydra, obviously, like I mentioned before, known for being incredibly strong and powerful, and it has a large tank, and it can just tear through anything. You're not going to do anything against like a splash wall or even a Tenterbrella shield, and so it was a smart pick, realizing that was going to be what Alliance Rogue would come out with. Yeah,
and finding a way to kind of just like pressure against the enemy's defenses. It just tears, it shreds, absolutely shreds. It's such a powerful weapon. Going on to Game 4 then, of course, our final mode of that 4 ranked modes is going to be Splat Zones over on the Manta Maria. So this is an interesting one. We've seen the stage before, the players have played on the stage before, but not in not on Splat Zones. So again, I mean, we were talked about it briefly, but looking at what our players have, they're going to be changing up their comps today, maybe a little bit to kind of play on this mode. But we're going to be jumping straight into Game 4. No holds barred here. Manta Maria for Splat Zones. This is going to be Game 4. Back Squids looking to tie this series up 2-2, and that would make it a very interesting final 3 games.
Hopefully we'll be seeing Stingrays coming out from either side of the team here. Very strong on Manta Maria. As I'm saying that, I don't think there is. Oh yes, there is on both sides. On both sides of the teams, Echo using the Scope Charger and Soren on the custom Jet Squelcher. Very, very weird for Urza to be using the Tenta Tech. Not exactly in favor in the meta at the current point, at least in my opinion. the zone's going exactly the way you would think, one to each team as the skirmishing really does take place. Nobody really looking for that midpoint power. As I say that, Urza hanging around, manages to get one, takes out Ben.
Yeah,
brilliant play.
Urza looking for a flank here, just trying to control a little bit of space in the back line. Gets taken down though by Backsquid very, very quickly. Shut that one down in well, very, very, very fast indeed. Sorin though, with this Stingray pressurizing to the side, finds his opponent, gets the splat as well.
Get one in good play. He had eyes on 3, but he managed to get one. That's good enough for his team. They're all pushing in, adding as much pressure as they can. Urza getting taken down by Kaito, and that's 3 down on the side of Alliance Rogue.
This is a good opportunity now for Backsquid to fight back and get control of that zone. There we go. The bonus points being added onto Alliance Rogue's side. 32 to get through, and their timer is ticking down.
Backsquid's now in the advantage position, pushing Alliance Rogue back. They're going to want to be able to get some specials here to try and push back in. The Stingray being used now by Echo to just add a little bit more pressure as Ben pushes in. Does get taken down, however. As I say, that Soren also gets taken down. So it's just a 3v3 at the moment. That's a lead as well, so we've got the lead on the side of Backsquid.
Absolutely, yeah, they're fighting back very nicely indeed, holding onto that middle ground and pushing so far back as well. Look at Echo here, just peppering from that back line, trying to get a shot maybe onto Urza, who does go down to Kaito over there with that Explosion.
Yeah, Kaito taking down the Inkjet and the Stingray coming out from Soren to add more pressure. They're going to neutralize one of the zones, but if they want to stop that countdown, they're going to have to take the other. Ben coming in just narrowly avoiding.
They do get it though, they get the turnaround once more, and they're going to be taking down those penalty points, looking for that lead.
Backsquid's jumping out, trying to keep safe here. Managed to get taken down on the back line. Urza pushed it very deep in here, looking for splats.
Urza just watching his teammates, staying stoic there in that line, trying to maybe get a pick if he can. Kaito noticed him then there. You can see on the back line as margin will come up. Urza then aggresses back again to Kiva's side in that central point. Echo looking for a splat or 2. Can they get 1? Can they get 2 at all? No.
The Stingray being mitigated there by the Ink Armor coming out from well, Alliance Rogue and Backsquid's Ben unfortunately being taken down there. A good baller attempt, but didn't really come through. Soren bringing out the Stingray to add more pressure to Echo. Echo has to jump out. He does want to conserve his special count at the moment.
And once again, you can see Alliance Rogue with such control over this central point. The town square, if you will. Well, that's a shit, but you know what I mean.
It's the bunker, we call it.
Yeah,
that's the bunker. It's an incredibly important part. Ben getting taken down beautifully, by the way. 2 down on the side of Backsquid, 1 down on the side of Alliance Rogue. Echo looking for more snipes, does bring out the Stingray just to add a bit more pressure onto Soren. The Ink Armor comes out on the side of Alliance Rogue. Yeah, does a good job protecting as that counter colors ever closer. Manages to take the lead.
Once more, and you can just see the Ink Armor is being used at such a great time. Noticing the Stingray, the jump back to the Stingray, right. Get together, use the Ink Armor, keep ourselves alive. Good reaction.
Ben putting up it's a full wipe on the side of Backsquid. Alliance Rogue are going to count it down, and this is a win. 3-1 to Alliance Rogue in the grand finals of the European Championship.
And it's all to play for now for Backsquid. They have got to make there's only 1 game away from the longest comeback in this. It's essentially now a reverse 3-0 they need to do to get back into this game. Splat Zones goes down. And Alliance Rogue are 1 game away from dethroning the European champions and crowning themselves as monarchs of all of Europe here with Splatoon 2. Man, what a great game. It was a great solid start coming out from Alliance Rogue. Then Backsquid do a brilliant job and have a really strong counter push. But then Alliance Rogue, they wrestle control back and just never let go of it. Maybe they lost control of 1 zone, but they never lost control of both ever again.
They weren't pulling their punches. Both teams were really bringing it out there. They both had great control. Backsquid's had a really good run, running it down to all the way to 26, all in one go. A brilliant lock that came out, but Alliance Rogue did an incredible job breaking said lock and pushing forward. And I mean, honestly, it was a good game.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that. It was a brilliant game to watch.
It just fell on the side of Alliance Rogue at the end. That wonderful team wipe just being the end of it. They couldn't get back in time to respond or counter anything there. So game 5 rather we're looking at now. Tower Control, Marco Mart. What are you thinking?
Well, okay, so Marco Mart is I'd say it's quite a square map, in my opinion, but the Stingray does come into play again. I'm always going to say that the Stingray is incredibly important. It's always important on a backline, especially on tower control. We saw an incredible tower control game last time. It was quite incredible. The comeback from Alliance Rogue against Backsquid, who had already pushed it to 15.
Yeah.
It was brilliant to see. So maybe Backsquid have learned from this before, and they're going to come out and they're going to try and knock it out all in one go. Don't give Alliance Rogue the chance.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to do that as well because Alliance Rogue are very good at taking opportunities and really capitalizing on that. Again, this is a bit, as you say, it's quite a square stage, but also quite small as well. So you should be able to, like, you know, close down space on an advancing tower quite quickly, and you know, you don't have to fight back as much enemy ground in that game. So again, although a slower paced mode, a map that's going to be really pulling on the player's ability to get aggressive and shut down space.
The first 50 points of that map are very tightly wound, so getting past that first 50 is incredibly important as for the team, and that's what you want to be doing going into this match. Yeah,
we're going to be jumping into that fifth game immediately for you now. We're not going to slow down here in the studio. It's game 5 for your grand finals. Currently, it's match or championship point for Alliance Rogue.
I'm expecting more Stingrays, I'm expecting more Kensadulis, I'm expecting more great things out of both teams here in this grand final.
Let's have a look at that setup then.
Double CGS coming out from Echo using that. I'm overjoyed. Kensadulis as well on both teams and the undercover umbrella. So both very strong weapons currently in the current meta, and we're just going to see a lot of skirmishing as usual on the stacks coming into this first couple seconds of the match. Looking for that first pick, they're going to be Sharon hit, Ben taken down.
Yeah, Soren getting an early splat there. They will be able to take control of the tower very, very shortly, and there it begins. They are at championship point, and they are closing in on that victory here. What can Backsquids do to push against the outcomes? The Stingray, they're still waiting there.
2 down on the side of Backsquids. They can't really do much. They're making their way towards that snake. Like I said, you want to get past this first snake, and then that's it. And the pressure being put out right now from Alliance Rogue is crushing. Echo can't do anything. He can't go in.
Yeah, as they're having to push back again, keeping themselves safe. The tower does go back in the side of the...
2 down on the side of Alliance Rogue. Ben pushing in with the baller. They're going to be able to take it back, stop that push. They did get past the 50 point, but that's not really going to matter if Backsquids can really push in here.
They couldn't get away, unfortunately, and down goes Margin, and down goes Ben as well. Down goes Kaito! 3-man sweep, and again, we just have to see Echo back off there.
Keeping that Stingray, just in case that push keeps going. His team are going to respawn in time, but we don't really know what's going to happen here, as Alliance Rogue have just put so much pressure on in this game.
Yeah, they're playing fantastically, and their aggression is just being rewarded every single time as Kaiva is getting aggressed upon and try and fight back, gets back onto the stage. Ballers are out to put so much pressure back onto the area. Urza pushes forward. Kaiva on the tower once more, pushing forward within 27 points left of victory right now. Margin is going to start pushing back.
They managed to, they're still on the tower, and Backsquids are fighting for the inches of their life here. They managed to take 2 down.
Yeah,
they're pushing them back, and the tower swings back, and the game continues.
But Alliance Rogue are just going to be mounting this pressure immediately once again. Echo waiting on that tower, using the Jet Squelch just to push and try and fire back as far as he can. Urza being pushed back a little bit, using this slosher just to get some pressure coming up. Alone there, doing a good job. Kiva and Margin in support. As Ben pushes forward with that baller as well, uses the suction bomb to try and get some pressure on the top side. And they're pushing forward. Their points on the board now.
Urza well out of it right now, has to jump out. The tower being pushed, the checkpoint counting down. This is what they need. They need that checkpoint because that just makes the next push so much easier. Kaito being taken down in a beautiful array. Urza by the tower. Imagine kind of alone at the moment as the Stingray comes out. Counter Ray to stop that. 3 down on the side of Backsquids. It's just Echo.
Yeah, 210 left on the board now as well. They do get past that first checkpoint, but look at the difference in points. 36 they have to make up, and time is not on their side. 2 minutes to go. It is a fair amount of time, but it's not as much as you'd think. As you can see, Alliance Rogue once more just pushing further forward. Backsquids on their back foot right now. As Urza, you can see just on that, look, just so much pressure coming out, but it does go down. Ben with the baller, come forward. Gets pushed back by that bomb, and torpedo bomb there. Echo on the tower though. They're going to be making their way forward. They're not giving up here. This is their last game.
Gray getting taken down. 3v3 right now. Kaito gets taken down. It's just 2 alive on the side of Backsquids at the moment. And Alliance Rogue again mounting that push. They have not let up a single ounce of pressure this entire set.
Look at how far back their zone control is. Look at just, you know, the ink they have all over the enemy zones is just so far back. And it's difficult for Ben and Margin, you see, and Kaito here as well, to get into that position to defend because there's just so much happening. Urza with the baller coming forward, will pop that, doesn't take down, I believe that was Ben there.
Kaito, Ben, and Majin coming through, taking out. It's a triple kill. Soren, the last one alive.
Fizzy Bomb coming out as well. Now, can they make something of this final push? 1 minute left on the board, and we have Backsquids looking for their, well, not their last push, but one of their last few pushes, potentially. Ben with the baller, going out as far as he can, trying to just be a distraction, cause some issues, pushes back, does not take the splat down.
That's a funny game of cat and mouse there going around the corner. Ben managing to have a really cool duel here with the Kunda. It's not really going anywhere as Majin pushes the tower forward. The Stingray's coming out. They're getting past this checkpoint. It's looking really good for Backsquids.
Oh, but as you say, 2 goes down. Can they get back on? And there's the defense. Less than 30 seconds left. Alliance Rogue with their power play in hand. They are looking at the doors being closed for Backsquids.
Backsquids with a mountain to climb over here. Kaito managing to splash down, gets the assist. Looking to add more pressure.
Okay, here we go. We're down to 10 seconds left. This is pretty much going to be the last play coming out from both teams. Kaiva sharking, waiting around on the side.
Manages to take
turn around.
Ben
gets taken down here.
3 down. It's just Ben alive. He has the baller. He has to pop
down.
it.
He has to win. He has to get on top of there. He took the tower. Alliance Rogue. Soren's popping off there on the stage. Backsquids, unhorsed, dethroned, defeated, put down.
Tight match.
Alliance Rogue. They took that first game, they were beaten back in the second, and they did not stop pushing forward and beating back the German squad. Backsquids defeated at last.
The French on their home turf doing an incredible job here, taking the title off of Backsquids. However, good to say, Backsquids put up an incredible fight there right at the end and during the whole thing. Handshakes all round.
So much respect, though, from both teams. You can see how much it means to Soren to get that victory. Kiva there as well. So happy to get that victory. And the crowd obviously here on their feet, excited for their boys in that mint green jersey to take home the victory. What a wonderful, wonderful set we had there. 4-1 in the end.
They're going to be winning those jerseys. There's incredible looking jerseys. There's awesome looking controllers. Beautiful controllers, I would say so myself.
Allez, allez, the crowd chants as the French do take home the victory. What an amazing, amazing set, and what a fantastic tournament it's been, not just over this weekend, but over the course of the last few months, or like half a year, maybe even longer, that it's taken to get to this point. As we said, hundreds of teams have entered the European Championships ever since it started last year. And, we whittled it down to 12 of the best, the best from every single region. And now at the end of a huge campaign, just one team, one country stands above them all as the champions of the entirety of Europe, and that is Alliance Rogue. And as you can see them getting ready on the stage there, I think it might be time to throw down to the stage to have a conversation with our champions. Tech Girl, you're speaking to Alliance Rogue.
I am speaking to Alliance Rogue, getting to stand next to our new European champions. This is give them, they deserve as much applause. Soren, when we chatted after the semi-final, you mentioned to me how important this was. This was the revenge match. You needed to come back and you wanted to prove that you deserved to stand in this spot. How are you feeling right now?
All I have to say is that it wasn't the best of 3, but I'm very happy about we won today. And I want to give a special shout out to all my teammates, especially like all of them. Gray's insane support, Kiver insanely consistent. Urza is probably the best Western player right now. And it's thanks to them that I could be allowed to play backline, which is a role I never played before. I had to literally learn this role for today and in 2 weeks. And it was honestly because of them we could make it.
There was a... We're at a live event. We're on a LAN stage. So sometimes there's little things that sometimes happen that no one can really control. And in this case, we had those pauses. Did it throw you guys off at all when you were sitting here having to wait for that? How do you get your team back together to get back into game and keep their eye on the goal?
Well, we kind of lost focus during the break, as you said. But since the Platinum Cup, we won with Ghost Gaming. Since the Platinum Cup, we lost. We won with Ghost Gaming back in December. We have a special strat is that before the game starts, during all the 1 minute and a half, we talked about what we are going to do. Even if we perfectly know what we are going to do, we talk about it again. We mention it so we perfectly know the map, what we are going to do, our strategies for defense, for neutral at the start, and for the attack.
You're on your home turf. You've got your French crowd here shouting for you, supporting you. You mentioned to me that you really had a special message for all your French fans watching and that are in the crowd. So it's up to you now. Tell them what you wanted to say.
Merci à tous de nous avoir soutenus. On est très contents de pouvoir succéder à la Rising Moon pour la France. Merci à tous.
Your Splatoon 2 European Champions Alliance Rogue, but I think let's make some noise and bring all 4 of our semi-finalist teams back onto the stage. I have 2 special guests that are here to help me hand out the prizes. You've listened to them all weekend. They've commentated, they've shown their support, and both of them are professional Splatoon 2 players. Dragonuto and Wisdom, come on out. We're going to give them a round of applause. Before we give out the medals, or we'll just start straight away, 4th place, make some noise for Spain's Polarized. They came in here, they're the unfamiliar team, if you like. They were the 2, there was some players here that we didn't really know, but they put on an incredible performance all the way through to the semi-finals. They can definitely be proud. And now it's time to award our 3rd place team, the Dark Horses, if you like. They knocked out Team Mako, the fan favorites. They came in here, they put on an incredible performance. Your 3rd place team, the Nordic team, Ampari Gang. Wisdom, this one's going to be a tough one for you because I know that your heart is a little bit broken right now. You were with this team last year. I know that you're feeling a little bit sad, but still, 2nd place, 2nd European champions. It's nothing to be disappointed about. The silver medals going to our German team. This is Back Squids. They did an incredible job. They fought hard. It's now time to crown our new champions, to give them our new medals. Inklings, Arklings, I know you're excited about this. They are the French team here on home soil. Your winners, Alliance Rogue. The medals aren't the only thing that we're handing out. As your new European champions, they also get their own custom winners jerseys, which are coming on out now. So we hand out even more prizes. These are the Splatoon 2 European Championship winners jerseys. Take a look at that. And I think the one that I know all of you wanted to run away from the venue with, because these are pretty sweet. Every single player in Alliance Rogue takes home that custom gold Nintendo controller as well. We can just stare at them if you want, but then I'm just going to take them and leave the stage, because these are sweet. This is what they look like. Take a look, and it even has champion on the back. So gents, these are specifically for you guys as our new champions. 12 incredible teams started this competition. We are down to these 4 amazing teams on the stage. And of course, we have our winners as well. But none of this would have been possible without the incredible support of Nintendo. Thank you for supporting Splatoon 2. Thank you for supporting these players. And thank you so much for putting on such an incredible show. Also, a big shout out to production and all the people who work behind the scenes, but most importantly to you, the fans at home, the fans here that support Splatoon 2 here in Europe. Back your favorite teams. It brings me great joy to be able to introduce your new Splatoon 2 European champions. This is Alliance Rogue.